There we go. What's up, guys? You guys are not action packed this morning. What's up, guys? I'm Justin. Let's get right into it. I haven't been on live in a while, just because just been doing my thing. But I thought going into this week, we have a lot going on, and it would be wise. I want to record some of my trading. If you guys have any questions, if you're new here, hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you guys want to see me back, all right, let's go ahead and make some money today, guys. You want to make some money with me today? Let's go. And if you want to get back to the stream, because I don't have no advertisements, I'm not asking for anything. All that stuff that everybody does. The reason I'm doing this, guys, is because if you ask me, YouTube has been unwatchable. It's been unwatchable, right? It's either these goofballs are trading futures accounts. Cool, but who the fuck wants to trade a futures account from 9:30 to 4? Excuse my French. I'm sorry, but you can't trade hymns and Nova Nordisk at come on. Anyway, um, hi, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. All right, let's get right into it. We got a lot. I had a phone call right before I started the stream. I was fooling with everything to make sure everything worked, and that's kind of going to get me off on a slow start today. So, um, right now we have up here the S&Ps. All right, obviously very simple. Market's trending to the upside. All right, oil pulling in. We haven't really had any news that they're going to stop the bombardment of Iran, right? I want to say, if you guys think about it, aside from the past, just all the shit that all the things that they've done, right? From NATO, U.S. soldiers, you've recently had them just continue to give Russia these drones. They've killed a ton of people in Ukraine, right? They weren't going to the table for these negotiations. They weren't, right? Then they start killing their own people. And then it's like, all right, you know what? We're done with you guys. You guys have done all this shit long enough. And it makes sense why they're doing it. And I thought about it this morning, and I'm like, the amount of people they've killed in Ukraine, just as recently, they just do whatever the hell they wanted. And I feel like this was it. The last straw was them just taking out their own people, and they're like, you know what, you guys are done. You guys keep doing whatever the fuck, whatever it is that you want to do, and we're not having it. So guess what? That's what's happening. They're not here anymore. Right? They're not here anymore. So it makes total sense, right? If anybody's wondering why they're doing it, to me, it makes total sense. All the things that they've done for the past 20 years, the stuff that they've done to help Russia. I mean, the amount of drones that they have given to Russia that have killed random innocent people. You know, negotiations. They didn't want to go to negotiations. They've had 3-4 months to go to negotiations after the prior negotiations before they bombed, their nuclear sites. And then they start killing their own people, and they still won't come to the negotiating table. And then you see them take out, Dubai and all these things. So you guys can't blame them for some of the things that you're seeing. I don't blame them. All right, let's go. So CNBC. Biggest news of the day thus far is going to be hymns and Nova Nordisk. I gotta pull up my account. Give me 1 second here. Let me refresh this and bring up some of the movers today. I already have it up under here. No, I don't. I don't have that anymore. Um, so we're going to analyze, entries. What do we think the market's doing? That's going to depend on oil. Right now, we're gapping up. So I'm not going to talk too much. I'm not going to yap too much. I want to get to work here. So we have hims and hers. Let's read this because I haven't necessarily read it yet. All right. So we have this oil stuff here. They're saying commodity surged. Yes, we did have a gap up. Talos Energy 5%, Northern Oil, ConocoPhillips. It's crazy because I was going to buy Conoco in December and I never did, and I'm obviously kicking myself in the butt for not buying ConocoPhillips. That December setup going into the year, I remember um, I was at a Christmas party and I was actually just looking at this setup on the daily in December, right here, and look at this reclaim. It was right here, guys, right there. I was just like, man, that was a beautiful, beautiful setup, and that was literally the start to what you have right now. And I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. You know, It is what it is. Sometimes it is what it is, you know. Um, let's see. So we do have prior resistance up here on Conoco since it is on that CNBC site up there at 130. Let's go ahead and see where she's at right now. So she went up and tapped 130 already. So what I would do is I would actually look. There should be some liquidity here today, but this isn't one of the names I want to focus on. So you broke prior day's high. You're still holding that consolidation. This thing doesn't really move during the day. We'll just take that off. Here's what I would say. Any of these energy names, any moves back into like 122 to 123. I'm going to go back to HIMS because that's our mover. We only got 5 minutes. We only have 5 minutes here. And if I don't read your comment immediately, just give me a second. All right. Let me log in real quick, guys. I mean, guys, again, the reason I'm doing this, YouTube has just been pathetic lately. In all honesty, like it's either delayed, it's just people want to charge you to trade with them, like and then you wonder why they've got over $1 million. It's because you gave them all your money to trade with them, right? If you make somebody money, right, there's no reason why they can't do it for free, right? So that's hymns. I'm gonna go back over hymns. We only got 3 minutes. I want to fill up my coffee. Amazon. My trade got taken away. I was starting to watch this over the weekend. Um, you are holding the 20-day moving average. Previous prior highs over here at 214, 215. That was actually the level I wanted to see if we were, depending on where we opened up. I was hoping to see a move back into 215. And I'm gonna put an alert there right now to see if man, you got a lot of space here between your 20-day, 50, 200, 100-day moving average. So you have this previous low, pivot low here, down at 220. You could not get above it. So it feels like this is your new possible new range. It could be, I think, past 214, but I'm gonna set an alert at 214. That would be prior. That would be Friday's lows. Say, this is probably not a trade for me. Probably not a trade for me. I'm gonna stay on hymns. I'm gonna stay on hymns. Yeah, I'm gonna let this be. I'm gonna let this be. I was watching it, but there's no reason to watch it today because there's news in other places. So we're already down into this junk here. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's go back to hymns. I'm gonna fill up my coffee. So right here. So look at this. All right, mark this stuff down if you don't have a pen and paper. We're right at the 50-day moving average right now at 25. Look at this previous pivot high, all right here at $25. It all lines up at $25. Prior support, support, highs, highs. Okay, $25. Also have the 50-day moving average. We also have that 50-day moving average. So let's take it here. Um, I may try to look for a trade off of that 50-day and that 25 level on HIMS. I'm not going to rush it though. I'm not going to rush it. The reason why I would do that, we're going to look at this from two different aspects. Okay, we're going to look at this through the lens with pre-market and after hours and without. Okay, what I would expect that would happen here is that what you're getting at right now is a consolidation. Okay, what I'm referencing to right now is this 15-minute chart. Your 9 EMA is going to be way down here at $15. Let's call it 16, 1560, 1570. what I'm going to do is we have this 4 hour trade line. Man, see, this might, it might try to go. I don't know. I don't know why. It may try for 30 if it gets above the 50 day. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me mark this 50 day out really quickly. Now I'm going to stick to that plan real quick. I'm not gonna make a judgment call on this. But if I see the signs that I could get a little bit of a pullback, here's the open. Here's the open. And I didn't hear the bell for whatever reason. You guys can hear me okay, right? If you can, let me know in the chat. All right, so our 50 day came in. There, let me just get everything set up again. I got a phone call right before the stream, and everything was kind of messed up and whatever. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not worried about it. All right. You see what I'm saying? CR9 EMA is way down there at 17. So I want to see if you get any profit takers up here. Bro, why are my charts so fud? All right, so the Qs just ran up into that pre-market high and anchor VWAP. I got live chat on. Let me actually just move this over. Pull back. I'm not sure what you mean by that, buddy. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I've already missed a Sims trade. Already missed it. So weekly options, there's not much volume right now. You have about 555 contracts at the 23 level. Put side 22, you have 384. That's ticking up. 386, that's ticking up. That would have been the trade right there, and that's what I was looking for as a move back into that $20. There's your 4 hour trade line coming in. So they are nicely aggressive on this pullback. Shit, come on, bro. But remember, this is your pre-market. This is that pivot high when the news came out from Friday. Pre-market lows. Look, you may just go right through it. You just went right through it. You just went right through it. Yeah, they're getting this. Let's see if we can get a bounce back into this pre-market low. I'm already ready to just fucking excuse my language. I apologize, but like I just barely hit my mouse and it screwed me up. And it just this has been my morning already. This has been my morning. So you have some previous buyers over here down into that low 22, high 2150, 2160 area. I want to see us bounce back into this zone and see what happens up here at the rejection. Let me pull my. See, they're not even. Damn, that's a good sign right there. Let me see this previous low. So the news came out after hours, so I'm not gonna. Watch that daily chart. You have this previous low down here at $21. So you could find some support there at $21. I want to know why this. It's probably because it's such a big jump. I want to see if this lines up here. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, see, or 30. Not really. Not really. I was hoping to see something there. This XLM would be a great reset. I'm going to be looking at energy names. Just let me get some of these things set up. Again, if I don't see your guys' comments, just give me a few minutes. I want to go fill my coffee up real quick. I can't believe I missed this trade. It's okay. It is what it is. Damn it. I can't believe I missed that. I mean, I can because I've been bombarded this morning, rushing getting this stream up here. So the reason I don't want to short now is because we're not up there at that 23 zone. And I don't know. I mean, we did break these pre-market lows. I think you could just see. I think we would start to see a chop here. And I think I would much rather look for the long. Just gonna let it do what it does. I'm gonna let it do what it needs to do. I'm gonna go fill my coffee up real quick, and I will put you guys these 5 charts up here. And I don't mean to leave. I don't want to leave right now, but I can go fill my coffee up. It'll take me 2 seconds. Let's go here. And see what else we have. So we have ES and Qs. So the NQs, some of the targets I have. Watch that weekly low from last week, which would have been Tuesday. Watch Tuesday's low on the Qs. So oil is still dipping. Oil is still dipping. Yes, I seen it. XOM. I'm not worried about some of these. I'm not worried about some of these. I mean, unless there's specific news. Look, you opened up at 152 and it's at 152, right? There, you're at the 20-day moving average. If you want to swing trade it, you know, I've already talked about it when I brought up ConocoPhillips, right? They're not moving during the day, right? Your moves are pre-market and after hours. That's your moves, right? It's already been, a couple minutes here, and you're right where you opened at 152, right? I want something that's going to move. Look at HIMS, right? It opens up at 23, and it's nine. It's been 7 minutes, and from the open, this thing's down 9%, 8.5%, and it's only been 7 minutes. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's why I'm not focused on some of these oil names, right? They're trades that have been happening pre-market and after hours. They're right where they opened, right? HIMS is down 9% off the open, 9%. I'll be right back. Let me turn on some CNBC. I just want to fill my coffee up. Let's pull up Coinbase. There's been some pretty nice setups here.
It is tough. I mean, I'm looking at the leaders on the Dow: Procter, Amgen, J&J, Chevron.
Well, that would be. Look, I own Procter, and Procter's the biggest cost. Yeah, they have a
So the
huge
Qs are
cost,
rejecting anchor GWAP.
Yeah, surfactant, plastic. Those are things that are all going up in price. Amgen, I like the drug stocks. If you have something that is doing well, Amgen should be up, J&J should be up, but at a certain point they are S&P.
AirPods. Watch out, guys. It might get loud.
If we have a mini bank crisis kind of market, then that's when the Magnificent Seven were formed. So, I mean, those are the ones, they have good balance sheets, so they're not as good as it was because they're borrowing a lot of money. They have historically done okay in this environment. The oil stocks do okay in this environment. I don't want to be facetious about it. I mean, commodities can do okay. I mean, everywhere. I mean, look at Chevron 190. Chevron goes to 220. You can buy Chevron. So that's fine. Chevron does well. I want it to be temporary.
Oh, you guys can hear it.
I certainly don't want people to say, listen, get out now. I don't think get out now because you can't get in now.
Yes. We'll watch Microsoft too, speaking of software, Jim, which I think...
Give me 1 second. I'm going to go fill my coffee up.
With its 200-week moving average, which it hasn't violated in, I think, over a decade.
I think it's time for Microsoft to unveil something that they have. that I don't know about. It's time out there, guys.
Now's the time.
Such is
Break some
time.
glass.
This is the time that if you're going to have that secret co-pilot 2, I would unveil it right now.
Yes.
I think that Meta's doing a lot of stuff that we don't know about that is positive. This is a good chance, again, if you don't own any Alphabet, maybe you start here. Alphabet's doing so well. It's only down $2. See, I want things to be down more. Like
you want to flush, I think. Yeah.
I do. I want the crescendo sell. I mean, I look at J&J and how much, if that thing dropped at 230, that would be terrific. Medtronic offloaded MiniMed the other day, and Medtronic's at 89. That's a good price, 15 times earnings. I like medical device. I really do. And medical device is down a lot, and they're obviously not economically sensitive. So, I mean, there's stuff to buy, but it's not down. I mean, do you want to go buy Merck? I mean, I think Merck's doing so much right. So let's buy Merck down 10%. No, it's down 94 cents. I don't want to tell someone to buy that. And every night we leave here, and every night oil, at 3 in the morning, you wake up and the SP's down 1.5%. I want to break that cycle. That's a cycle we've been under. And it makes it so that whatever you buy today looks. So I just, don't want people to make a stand. I don't see a stand here. Something changed over the weekend. It got worse. So making a stand here this close, given the fact that the war escalated to a level that no one thought, I got to have a reason why these people are so bullish. Do they know something? I don't think they know something. I don't know anything.
Yeah. There is at least one solid winner today, and that's Hims on this deal with Novo.
Oh, yeah, they got that, and that was, what's so funny is that Novo Nordisk, I mean, if you, whatever you can think, and I happen to like the guy who runs it, he's a very nice guy. But, when you, okay, everything they do is wrong. Okay? Stars continue. Why did he do this? So his stock's up 20 cents. Well, that was a good idea. Honestly, I met the guy. The guy is a great guy. He inherited a really bad situation. But name me something they've done right.
Right.
I don't know what they've done right. They got the pill out earlier. But he makes this huge deal to make it so that Hers and Hims is back. And his stock goes up 18 cents. The market is saying, do something. They had this one. To take this to a loss is really incredible. I mean, it's one of those. Remember there was a game where against the Oilers where Frank Reich of Buffalo came back, greatest comeback ever, and you look at it and you say, well, the first thing he did when he came back to the second half was throw a pick. And then he said, all right, we got him where we want him. Man, maybe Novo has him where they want him. Maybe that's it. Maybe Novo has him where they want him. I'd be surprised.
Meantime, as we're talking oil back below 100, for more on the war's effect on crude, let's get in touch with our Brian Sullivan today. Hey, Brian. We'll work on his audio.
Got to speak louder. Brian's got to speak louder.
Yes.
He's a loudspeaker, so that is a little.
Yeah, there's a lot to get to.
We got to hear from him because he had great comments in the previous.
Yeah, my audio's not working either.
Box.
That's hilarious.
Look, if it doesn't stay here, or if something happens overnight that's bad, I think we go up a lot. If something doesn't happen overnight, I don't think we go down a lot.
Yeah. RBOB approaching 3 is important because that would get you to a $4 average in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Diesel, by the way, Jim, diesel in Texas is up $1
unless
a gallon
it's
in a
dead.
week.
I mean, there's people are saying the trucks are really going to be hurt. Yeah, I saw some truck upgrades. Well, they can pass it through. But let's talk about Disney as the stock. Disney's got cruise ships. Disney's got theme park. And they've got movies and Channel 7, TV, linear. They don't have the horses here.
Yeah.
They don't have the horses to withstand $4 oil. It's just the stock just doesn't. The stock is anticipating correctly.
Disney at 99 is that's for sure.
We'll
try again with our Brian Sullivan, talk some crude. Hey, Brian.
Hey, I think you guys can hear me now. No one's ever said they couldn't hear me, by the way. Carl,
Look,
your point, so
they started working out.
Listen, I think Jim's point exactly is spot on. Look at crude oil; it's up 9.5%. But It's not $125 a barrel. You
All right,
got
I'll be
Exxon up
right back.
half
I'm
a
gonna fill my
percent,
coffee.
Chevron up 1/4 of 1%. You guys were talking about it. The markets, yeah, they're down a bit, but they're not collapsing. This is a huge difference from what we
Does
had
that
last
sound like
night. Jim
crap?
was talking about waking up
I
at three
wonder if
o'clock
that's
in the
just
morning and
on
checking
my
the
stream.
SPY.
Anyway, I'm not worried
I
about
woke
it.
up
Look,
at 3
all
o'clock in
right,
the morning
so
just in a
so
cold
Hims is
sweat,
breaking back
wondering
up
where
through that
oil was going to
pre-market
go. I think a
that
lot of
pre-market
this, I'd
low
love
there,
to hear your
guys, where
guys'
you had
take,
a
is options
consolidation.
positioning. A lot
Watch
of
for
people,
pullbacks in the
myself
22, and
included,
maybe
kind
you
of
get up
caught
to this
out, not in
50-day
a
moving
trading way,
average
don't
up
take
here.
any positions,
I'll be
but
right.
thinking that this would be maybe over or less severe 1 week out than it turned out to be. The Wall Street Journal headline, Iran, by the way, appointing Khamenei's son, kind of taking that hard line tone, fight to the end tone. And I think that caught a lot of people in the oil positioning out short, literally, where they had to cover last night. That set the biggest single day oil percentage gain in history. What we were up 30, 35% at one time. We're still up 10% right now at exactly, not saying that's good, but relative to where we were last night, it's not bad. One thing I want to note, when you look at an Exxon, Marathon, some of these other names, they're at or even average analyst price target, guys. You look at ExxonMobil, it's actually a couple of percent as a consensus. There you go. Says it should under, but I do wonder if these stocks aren't responding because the trading desk, Jim, are kind of like, well, yeah, this is kind of where our and the stock is. So they might have to raise. The analyst community makes a change. Just one thing, we've seen production cuts or shifts, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain. Wait, and I want to be very clear on these Saudi headlines. A lot of Saudi headlines going around. I don't want to say they're wrong, but they're confusing. You'll hear the term Saudis cutting production. My sources will tell me they're shifting production to different fields. Number one, you have drone attacks, but number two, to a different pipeline. It's not a cut per se as much of a shift. I know that's verbal semantics or verbal gymnastics, guys, but it does matter when you're counting the barrel.
First, Brian, you've been unbelievable in this, the best guy we have. Let me ask you, when you attack the desalination plants and when Israel attacked an oil facility, isn't that the kind of escalation that we really can't control right now?
Yeah, I think you're right, Jim. Listen, you made the point at the near the top of the show that you can't.
All right. Let's see here. Where are we at? I'm still looking for the short as of right now, for a few different reasons. You're still negative MACDs. Your ADX still leaning negative side, even on this pop and reclaim of those pre-market lows. So we have here now what I want to look for. So we have a 46, a 42 delta on the 22 puts. Okay, 1,600 worth in volume. At $1, I'll probably, because this is consolidating, I'll probably edge if I decide to go the put route. I'll probably start with 5 because part of me thinks this is good news, and I don't want to be overly bearish. Let me pull this back up again. So they surged 51% after Bloomberg reported a person familiar with the matter. The Hims struck a deal with Novo Nordisk, Danish pharmaceutical company. Okay, what is the deal? Okay, that's the first thing we need to know. What's the deal? Is there any updates here? Does anyone have updates? That's the biggest factor. What is the deal? You got to know the terms of the deal. You know, so let me make this a little bit bigger so everybody can read it for the most part. So they decided to try another partnership. The one failed last summer. The company hovered around So Hims and Hers will no longer advertise. Will no longer advertise GLP-1 drug for weight loss, and existing patients for those products can transition to Novo's Wegovy or Eli's Zepbound, the most popular weight loss drug. They will start offering Novo's Ozempic and Wegovy pills and injections later in the month. Importantly, Novo will dismiss a lawsuit. So they dismissed the lawsuit. Cool. As of Friday afternoon, Novo said the suit was ongoing. The company's so far, I'm not seeing anything between the two, right? That also matters. The deal between I'm no expert on this or anything. There we go. I just spilt my coffee. But I feel like it matters a whole lot, and we're not getting it. Like, what are the residuals, right? What does Hims get, right? What is Novo paying Hims? Like, how much are they charging, right? How much is Hims is going to charge? Are they just like what are they paying for it versus what they get on their sales? That's important, and that's probably why we're seeing this sell off today is because the deal details have not been publicly available. All right, so I'll probably just end up setting an alert up here. Literally, just I knew I poured too much. Excuse my desk. I have to clean it off. I think I get another. That's why I put a paper towel there. All right, so you're so we do not have information on the deal itself. Man, that's probably a good zone right there. Excuse me. I don't mean to cuss. I apologize. I was hoping we see a bounce, but I don't know if we're going to. So that's broken. Still might get that. Let's see if it picks up here. Let's see if it picks up here. The buy bids are stepping up. I was wanting to see if the ask started to step up, and they are. There they go. The ask seller started to step up right there. Just doing one thing really quickly. Okay, so that was your anchored VWAP right there that just got smacked. There it was. That was it. Right there was your VWAP, that previous low here, and you're rejecting off of it, but the volume's not increasing. And you have your 3 minute coming up. I think you might have room. I think this is going to take time. I think this is going to play with you for a little bit, but I think it's going to take a little time here. It's at 20. So that's 21, and you have that previous low here also at 21. You have a lot of things lining up at $21. There it goes. You're starting to fill the gap now. I'm gonna switch over to the Qs probably. Maybe this isn't. See, I just don't want to short into this 3 minute 9 EMA, right? You have a few different things happening here. Let me throw up the live chat. I don't know how many people, if we have anybody here. Okay, so I can just pull this up and I don't need that chat. Nice. Okay, cool. So $21 to the top right of the screen, right? You got your 3 minute trade line right there. All right, you got your 3 minute trade line. 21 is also on the bottom right. Okay, you're going to see that was that previous low. So you have some buyers down here at 21. Where was our low a day? 21. So you got a lot of things lining up at 21, and that's why I don't want to short going right into it. I gotta be honest, I am kind of comfortable with shorting the position, but I just don't know if there's a trade. I'd like to see this thing get higher. I'd like to see this thing get higher. I'd like to see us get back to 23. That way I know I have $1 or $2 left on it. All right, so you have broken that previous Friday's news as well. So maybe it is. Maybe it's going to happen here. They're far away from the 20-day moving average. Do you see what I mean by it's not in a hurry right now? You had to trade off the bell, right? I want to be in there, and I want to be there where there's momentum, or either I want to be in a position where there's momentum, which it just hasn't given it to us just yet. Um, or secondly, or right to buy time, I need to buy right, which would be honestly just a failed. I'd like to see us bounce, and that bounce failed. Like I'd like an entry at like 23 to 24, right? Or if I buy below that, if I buy below $22, I want to start seeing this thing have some momentum and that volume pick up, and we're not getting that right now. So just going to be patient here. I'm not going to sit in options and just have them decay. I'm not here to yap and like preach and teach and all that stuff. All right, let's go to the cues real quick. Matter of fact, I wanted to set an alert. Let me set an alert here to see if we get back up and above. But we are getting some divergence here, and that's why it's slowing up. Kinda. Not really. It's trying. Nah, it's about even. Got a little bit of a divergence. I think we see a pop. I think you see a pop bounce back into that 23 zone. So what I'm going to do is I'll just check back in on it. I want to see us bounce into that. I'm going to set an alert up there. So we'll see if this goes off today, or if it starts breaking down. And I'm going to set an alert also down here at $20 on it. And I wouldn't mind that long. I wouldn't mind that long at all. So we have our alerts. We don't do anything until they go off, until they get hit. All right. So I'm setting an alert down in front of $20, and then I'm going to set another one back up into. I'm just going to leave it where I had it. All right, moving on. Let's go see if we can't get ourselves something going here because the cues are setting up in a nice spot right here, guys. So remember what I said. You had this last week's low, which was on Tuesday. That's right here at 592.50. So we're pulled right into it right now. We pulled right into it as we speak. That's also that pre-market previous high. That's your pre-market highs right there. Not your pre-market highs, but that early session. Um, you had these highs here that were broken, and you're pulling into it. Okay, and it's trying to hold. It's trying to hold. There was a nice long on Friday that I took on the S&Ps off of the Qs. So as of right now, I'm just going to be a little patient. I'm going to look around. Was a little busy this morning. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. So far, I'm not. There's a couple things I don't really care for the long yet on the Qs. I'm gonna check up on some financials. Just keep this right here. It's not bad. Now, what is the volume comparable? So the volume's not too bad this morning. Volume's not that bad today. So let's see here. Do you break back above 594 and then pull into 594 to hold it? So there's that previous low, Tuesday previous low here. Nice little support early morning Wednesday, and now you've bounced into it. 200-day moving average right below us. Okay. Just going to be patient here because you're getting, that bounce that you're about to have right now, you could make some money on it. Yeah, see, it's happening now. You should get a bounce here, but you got a lot of things in your way. So I would be a little patient. I'm not taking anything. Could you make money on it? Sure, you could. I just don't think you're going to get that much of a move, and we could just have a little bit of a boring day. See what I mean? There it is. There's that move, right? Right. See what I'm saying? There it was. I literally just said it. And what are you getting? But again, you know, that's 10 years in the market for you right there, guys. Right? That's 10 years in the market. It's 10 years in the market right there. That would have been a really nice scalp for you. But I'm good. I want something that's got some meat on the bone. I'm just gonna let this market do what it wants to do. See this previous low here also. Um, back in it was a few weeks ago, right there at 595. Let's see what we have here. So what's trending right now? I think we also have data at 10 o'clock. I think you have some consumer inflation expectations here at 10 o'clock. We already got those. Has it not came out? Why is it not showing up? Previously 3.1. Not sure. Not sure what's going on there. That's a landscape is landscaping. All right, so you see these previous lows here, right? That was the start of the week last week. Um, Tuesday you broke it and you quickly reclaimed it and you ran from there. You're rejecting it again with a little bit of volume here, so the volume isn't too bad. See, I'm getting two different pictures here. If I use a 5 minute through 3 minute, it's telling me two different stories, right? It's telling me, hey, it looks like you've gotten a little more volume, but once you put it on like a 15 minute, 30 minute, it's showing you the volume's actually kind of low. It's not bad. I take that back. If you guys could hit the like button, subscribe. I'm gonna see what happens here. You are rejecting. I want to set an alert down here for the cues to see if we can retest this. Retest this. We're still negative. This is more than likely a short right here that I just missed, but I don't like it. You got a lot of things going on in these areas. That's gonna like prevent you from getting follow through. Right? That's what you have to understand. If you're a failing trader, you have to understand and look at the board. Man, if I could find it. Um, so I've been randomly. I started to see these shorts, right, and they were labeled as kick, and they're up there saying like I don't know, not supply demand, right? But they're pointing out these things, and there's nothing on the chart except the candle, and I think they're trading futures. And I'm like, listen, you guys are not seeing why. It's not always important, but why is that area supply? It's not just, oh, it's just a random area on the chart that makes it supply. Oh, it's been supplied before. There's obviously something there that you do not have on your screen that is preventing it if it's not a level, right? If it's not a previous price level, it could be the moving average, it could be a 9 EMA on multiple time frames, right? So if you're like using a 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, and you're not understanding, you get this nice bounce, but then that hourly, right? You get a bounce off of a gap down. All those things are still trending down on a longer term time frame. That's why you have to use your hourlies and just look to see where they are, right? Your 30 minute. Like if I pull up right now an hourly on the cues, right? Let's look at this hourly. It's right here. Look. So you're not getting movement both directions because look, you got your 90 EMA right here with previous highs and you have last week's low. So you got a lot of things right there to hold you. But then we also have a lot of things preventing us because if we look on other time frames, right? You have also there was something there, but you know, you have that 595 psychological level. You have your 4 hour trade line. See, you guys didn't think I was going to have something. You have your 4 hour trade line that's right there. So one of these has got to break. And once that breaks, it's either going to be that 4 hour trade line or, which again, it also lines up with these previous lows here. Right? So you have multiple things at this location at 595, and you have multiple things lining up at the lower location being 592.78. So you're stuck right here. It's not like, oh, this was supply. Like you have buyers, right? This is all supply. Well, if you have all these buyers right here at 595, right? If I point this out and you're like lows, 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 look, lows, 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 lows. Okay, well, we just went there. If you're, into previous lows, well, obviously those buyers should pick it up. Well, they're not because there's a lot of other things that are there that some people don't have on their chart to see why it's going to take a little while. All right. Does that make sense? Man, this is going to be a lesson that could literally change your freaking trading, guys. It could stop you from struggling and or make you more money. Right? You got your 4-hour trade line here, previous lows. So you got a lot of things going on up at 595 when you get to it. Okay? If we scroll down, we go to our hourly chart. Look, we got our trade line, prior week low, which was Tuesday's low, also right there. So you're stuck between 594. Now, what would we say? What would give us the best odds in a direction? I don't think you get a direction necessarily just yet, unless you get a catalyst, but the volume is clearly to the downside. And you have the 200-day moving down there. So it's more than likely we have greater volume, right, on that lower term time frame. More than likely we were going right now to our 200-day moving average. So we'll put this trade on and see if that works out. We have not gotten an alert yet from HIMS, so I'm not even looking at it just yet. Man, I hope there was one person here that understood. I just caught that because I'm telling you right now, it's going to change your trading. And if you see people that are saying like all these things, like I'm going to find this clip in a little bit and I'm going to show you guys because you're going to be like, there's nothing under there but candles and they're not understanding, what's really going on. You can't understand what's going on if you don't have it on your chart, right? You can't, just having candles, not to say you can't make money. There's 1,000 ways to make money. I'm not saying that. But why is something, resistance and or supply? Like why? There's there's got to be a few things going on, and if you don't have it on your chart, you may not see it. All right. I'm gonna take this small. I'm not going in crazy. I may go for tomorrow's. So we also have. So we are negative on the MACDs. This trade's happening right now. Yep, I'm missing it. I needed to enter and not talk. It's okay though. It's all good. I mean, that's a 2 or 3 point move there. So, see, it could be rough. You may not get a straight shot to the 200-day. But what I want to see is a low volume bounce here. Let's see if we can take that move off of prior week's low at 592-ish. Okay. We have a few more minutes before this candle closes. Got about 3 minutes. So we'll let this just hang out for a minute. Let's see, where are 15 minute at? Okay, so we are below that. It's positive. Let me look at this. Let me look at this 30 real quick. See, a lot of things are negative. Okay. So now I've got a overlay of the land on multiple things that are going on. All right, from my ADXs, MACDs, levels, moving averages, levels, ADX, MACD. Now I have about 6 different things telling me why we should go test that 200-day moving average off of that level. But that short should have been up there at 595. Okay, 595 on the Qs was the area for multiple reasons. Not just pre-market highs, but why were the pre-market highs there to begin with? It was a big level from the prior weeks, right? And if I pull this up, it was also your 4-hour trade line was right there. Think. So I can't give all my secrets away. That's just a little bit. That's just a little taste. All right, let's see here. You guys could hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. So there's not much room, man. We have like no room here. This is only like $1 or so move. I don't even know if I want to take it. I think I'm just gonna wait for the reversal, guys. But I don't think you get it. I don't think you get it. You could. Here's what could change that my entire talk right now, as to what could change and shift what's happening right now. A tweet from Donald J. Trump. That's one. I'm going to see where the 30s are. So the 30 years pulling back. Let's see if financials are falling out of bed. They should be. They should be. Look, they are. They're pulling in again. TLT should be going higher here, guys. But it's already getting ready to getting a bit of a bounce here. Let me just go here. I see. I can't pull it up on a. Maybe I could with futures. Wait. So they are bouncing today. So that's our daily chart. No, we're down because it's filled. All right, just so you guys know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this here. Right? It was green. I'm like, oh, it's green, but it's filled because it's above prior day's close, but we are down. So I was a little mixed up there. All right. So the 30 years pulling back off of this bounce. Let me pull this up. And I almost posted this chart. So the 30 year is coming into some support here. And I want to show you guys something, okay? If you pull up the 30 year and you watch this 475 level, okay? This could be your bounce back for the financials. All right. If you start to see this 30 year hold this level here again and try to make some upside back into 485, okay, back into this area right here, right? Run a test right back up into there. That is your long catalyst at support um in financials. Sorry, I gotta fix this camera. I gotta fix it. It's just dull looking. Um all right, so keep that in mind. That I just gave you guys another freebie there. Okay? If you But you have to use it. You have to be able to utilize it. So if we were to go here, let me just pull up like Wells Fargo. Okay. I hate look at this. These charts are so fudged. These charts are so screwed. These charts are so screwed. So you're down in here to support. And this is what I mean. So if you get down into these previous lows, say on Wells Fargo, that's 76 zone. Set an alert. Watch to see if the 30-year bounces. It's pulling. It's still continuing to pull in, but it should at least the 30-year 475, 4.75 should give you a little bit of a bounce. 476, 475, and if it bounces here, then you also have your, possibly a little bit of a long opportunity here in financials. I need something that's not jacked. I mean, look at that. How in the hell is Thinkorswim okay with that? That is ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. Capital One breaking support there. They're just getting hammered. And this is why I want to see if TLT, or you could just play TLT or TMF, the three levered. I've been watching these for a few weeks already. That's why I have all these levels already marked out because I've been on them. I've been on TLT. I've been on the 30 year for the past, 2-3 weeks, if not longer. I've already bought some home builders because I have a thesis, just position myself in case we start to see, that long end start to pull in. I want to have, some access to that. And that would be your home builders, shorting banks, long TLT or long, just there's a bunch of ways to play it. I also was looking at Jones Lang LaSalle for a short also to see. Look, it's already happening today. Shit, I just thought about that. That's why I have this marked. Um, I think you see a bounce. Look how the volume's kind of low. You broke that level with some conviction. Like you didn't even stop for that level. You have some support here. That's a nice move. That's a six. Got a $6 move to get down into that zone, and you may go farther. You may go farther. All right, let's go look into some liquid names. So Hims, kind of doing exactly what I thought. It's not really giving you much. It's kind of just staying in the range for now. I'm gonna wait for it to set itself up. Let's go look at Hood Palantir. Let me actually do this. I can get busy here. Come on. What? Hood, there's nothing really here. You're rejecting the 20-day moving average. Give me a second to check in on the comments, guys. Okay, yeah. See, the Qs are still trying to bounce here. It's important, okay? I'm doing this because we all need to work together as far as things that are going on. All right. If you're trading alone, it can be difficult. You're not gonna, you only have two eyes, you only have two ears. All right. So
Parents, if your child plays Roblox, listen up. You could qualify for up to 300.
sorry about that.
VXRT.
MDINH.
DTCK. But alert spiking
EONR.
10%. DTCK.
EONR.
All right, guys. All right. Again, I repeat, if you guys have any comments or anything, just give me 1 minute to look at everything. I'm just trying to get my day going here. Just trying to. I don't like. I'm actually going to scratch this. Scratch that. Fucking trading a fucking 50 cent stock. Like, I'm not trading that. Guys, be careful. A lot of these. All right, so Hims is getting a bit of a bounce back there. See what I mean? So we're getting it. We're getting that bounce. We this is literally what we talked about is that bounce back up into this area. I need it to be short up at 23 if I'm going to take it. Either I get short lower and it's giving me momentum, or I need it to be higher with more time if it's just going to hang around and not really do much. All right, we're here. Listen, remember this, please, and think about this. Just because the market's open does not mean you need to have a trade going. Okay, don't overtrade. Worry about saving and holding on to your money before taking the risk, guys. It's important. Okay. I haven't taken anything yet. Let things play out. Wait until you see something. Don't be in such a in a hurry to get rid of your money. Okay, so we did not hold again this pre-market high. All right, I might go for this. I may give it a little bit of time here. Let me make sure everything is on the up and up here. We're good there. It's trying to cross. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go here. Oh, look at that. That was a nice entry there. Oh, I missed that. I missed that. It's happening now. Let's see if this breaks. Okay, we're good. We may have a dollar or two on this. See, I think we get it. Okay. All right, guys. Let's go. Let's do this. Again, nobody else is doing this stuff for free. If you guys make any money with me, you can give back. A lot of the stuff is in the description below. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm pretty much missing it though. Shit. I may have to log back in. It may have logged me out because I haven't done much. I haven't touched any screens or anything. Headlines too, okay? Keep an eye out for headlines. Let's see if we can't get something here. So what do we have here? So volume 2000, 46 open interest. I don't like this. So what am I paying? I'm paying $1.21. I'm just trying to figure out which strike I want. I'm missing it, guys. Fuck. I'm missing it. Come on, give me one more bounce, please. Let me get one more bounce. It's not gonna give it to me. I gotta get in this. I missed it. I gotta get it for the right price. I gotta get it for the right price, you guys. I need $1.68, $1.70 at the least. It's happening right now. The trade's happening right now, but I think that's why you're not seeing much volume. It's all good. I'm not gonna get stressed about it. It's all good. I'm not gonna worry about it. If we can just give me a bounce back, give me the price that I need for this, and I'll take it. I'm not paying that for it. Is my camera going crazy and not working? So there, 89. It's 10 cents already. So just by the way, guys, I'm looking at the 22 puts. 22 puts on Hims. You know it. I wasn't paying up. I wasn't paying up, you guys. I wasn't paying. So we just saw him at $1.70. Again, the reason why I wasn't hesitant. Now, what was happening there and why I didn't take it when I was talking about that it was playing out is I was trying to figure out what strike I wanted to be in and why, and what my risk was. Right, the strikes that I'm looking at, they were a 50 delta. Okay, and I was looking at volume, open interest, a little bit of a. I'm not worried about open interest, a little bit, but um I mean, it's not much. It's still there, right? You've made 20 cents, but you're going. Here you go. You're getting ready to hit $2 on it. So there's $1.70 to $2. I need this at the right price, right? I need it at the right price. I'm not just gonna, it is what it is. It's all good. So my problem there was I should have already had the strikes to begin with, but there was no volume on it when we were looking at it earlier. Right? So I'm trying to figure out, a lot of the volume had jumped and I wanted to see what strike I wanted to be at. So you could get out right now from that $1.70, $1.75 to like $1.95. Well, the bid's at 94, so you probably get $1.98 easy. I would hold this to 220. There's no reason why you can't get 220 to 230 on these. But I need a bounce back. I hope it bounces back so I can get an opportunity to get in. I want in on it. I want that trade, but again, let me turn on, let's see if I can get, let me turn on some, let's turn this on. If it's loud, I apologize.
Ministers from countries around the world.
So here we go, right? Let me pull it in. So what do we have here? We have to pay attention to this because of oil. I'm still watching Hims here. I'm still watching Hims. All right, so oil is trying to bounce here, which is okay. That doesn't mean anything. Let me pull this news back up. Um, let's see here. Let's see here. It's good to see you back. It's good to see you back. Let's go. Let's get this. So there you go. There's that pull in. There's a pull in on USO. I was reading something. I'm sorry, guys. Come on, get bounce back, Hims. You can do it. Just give us a little bounce back.
Again, just going back to crude prices, they are just continuing to ease a bit more now. We're trading at 102.5 for Brent futures.
Emergency oil stocks available to the market. French minister.
And again, just back to President Trump on Truth Social, he just tweets or messages asylum. Again, he's referring likely to his previous tweet where he called on Australia to offer asylum to the Iran national women's soccer team.
Yeah, so U.S. President Trump says Australia is making a horrible humanitarian mistake by allowing the Iran national women's soccer team to be forced back to Iran.
And more
I
from
agree with
France,
him. Do you guys
the
agree or
finance
what?
minister says he hopes the
So they're
G7
sending them
statement on
back to
talks
Iran,
over
where they
possible
will most
release of
likely be
emergency
killed.
oil
Don't do
stocks
it,
will
Mr.
be made
Prime
in the
Minister.
coming hour.
Give asylum. Yeah, so that's his post right here, guys. All right, right here. Right here, full post. Australia's making a terrible humanitarian mistake. So it's not really got anything to do with oil. Okay. I'm gonna put that here. So we have some upgrades here. ALTG. Look at Hims, guys. It's gonna give you that next leg low and probably break to a new low. That's a shame, man. I wanted that trade today. There's your break, retest of that previous pivot low. You just have to watch. You got a little bit of support in 21. I would take profits off in front of 21. Nice job if you got this, even at 175. You should start to get 208. You should be able to get that if you can get down into there. 208, 210 from 170, 175 on those 22 puts. I still have them up. Yeah, $2, 205 ish. You know, what is that? 30. That's 30 cents a contract right there. And it hasn't even moved yet. All right, it hasn't even moved. So again, I'm not in it because I just it is what it is, man. I was trying to figure out what strikes and stuff that I wanted, and it kind of came up on me quick. It never gave me a bounce back. I have a price I'm willing to pay. If I don't get it, I don't get it. All right, Mexican poor and wait. What the hell's going on here? Okay. We discussed all available options, including making IEA emergency oil stocks available to the market. So you're starting to get the G7. They're ready to take necessary measures, including support global supply of energy. Okay, so you're starting to get the stockpile release news coming out now. What are you guys seeing out there? What are you guys watching? SAPPI, man, it's too close to the 20-day MACD giving crossover, and it's gonna move. At least I think. I don't. So there you go, guys. You should be able to get your 205, 208. Your first bit of contracts off there on Hims. Nice job. All right, this is your right here. Here you go, 203, 208 from $1.70. So first trade of the day. Again, I'm not in it. You're already up 30 some cents. So 40, close to 40 cents. Nice job. Nice job. But you know, You could be up more or less depending on your strikes. I'm kind of upset that I didn't get that. All right, I need to look around. What are people looking at? Let's go tune into let's go look at some YouTube and see what is going on here. What are people watching? Nice job. 212 now on the ask on those. Okay, yes. Give me the I can't believe I didn't get that. I mean, I can. It's all good. I'm not going to stress it. I'm not going to stress it. Is any of you guys going to go after um the Virgil ones that are coming out? The Alaska ones that are coming out here in the next week or two? Virgil Ablohs. Let's see. I'm going after them. I'm going to try. I'm going after them. I think they're not. I like them. I like them. They come with a cool box and everything. Let me see if I can pull up an image here. And I'm going to be honest. I'll more than likely end up just reselling. I'm going to see how many pairs I can get. And I'll end up just reselling. I would keep a pair for myself, and then end up just going ahead and reselling if I can get any other allocations. So these are coming out in a week or two. Got a lot of cool stuff that comes with it too. All right, so we got TLT, we have crude. We're watching crude. Hims is bouncing back again. Take some profits off of. Remember, I talked about it like 5 times, 20 times. 21 is a level of support on Hims. Okay, until it's not. Right, you have a major daily low down here at 21. You're finding support there. So make sure you're taking your profits off in front of that level. So you should expect bounce backs. It's not a major level, but it's a level to watch for. I wonder if this could be the opportunity. I can't take the long. It's not showing it yet. Unless things change here. I mean, you haven't made a new low. All right, move on. Move on from it. Let's go to the SPY. I'm running out of time already today. I think the next after, so it's 10:30 at like 11, 10:45. If we don't really get any news, I'm gonna go ahead and probably just go over charts, get ready for tomorrow, and go from there. And we'll stream tomorrow. I think it's an exciting week, right? This stream should not be um, delayed or anything. There shouldn't be any delay. I'm trying to check for it right now. You guys could forward this stream, share it. I don't know why this camera. I gotta fix this. The camera looks horrible. I gotta fix this. The camera looks horrible. You guys can hear me, right? Check, check, check.
And just for the Brazilian rail watchers, a report in O Globo suggests that Brazil's Haddad is set to run for the Sao Paulo governor role.
Yeah, you can. I'm good.
Just for the Brazilian rail watchers.
Let's check out the spy here. Still, I don't. How can I adjust? They see. I haven't done this in so. Okay, stream settings. Here we go. don't know why. Oh, this could be because of the app. If you're watching on the YouTube app, it's going to be a little slow. It's going to be a little slow. What is Sean trading today? Let's go see what Sean's trading today. If he's even live, he's probably not even live anymore. No, he's not. DTCK still going. Look at this thing, guys. DTCK. Okay. See, small caps, they started last week, and I seen a couple people talking about it. I hate these daily charts. All right, so you already tested that at $10. Okay, so you know what? You're here at the 20-day. I'm pretty sure you're right above this 20-day. So look here, you've already retested $4. I'm kind of curious if you can get a run up into that 50-day here and retest it. Is there any news on this? It's trade's probably over with. 855 effective trading of shares 20. So there hasn't been any news on this morning. That's wild. Why is it not showing any news? I'm sure there's something. I mean, this is the buy point, but I'm not going to take it. I don't like the volume, but that 20-day moving average is right there. Nice level of support, break, retest. The volume is kind of still there, but I don't like it on a 5-minute time frame. Look, my chart better stay right there. It didn't. See how it? I hate that it does this. I knew it couldn't stay there. I knew it couldn't. There's no reason why it jumped all the way to the right of the monitor. There's no reason for it.
And just making you aware of some comments from Iran's security, Larijani says it is unlikely that any security will be achieved in the Strait of Hormuz amid the fires of war ignited by the US and Israel, especially if that is by the design of parties that were not far removed from supporting this war. So Larijani, again, another
Whatever
defiant
that
message.
means. Whatever that means. All right, so you have this 15-minute high up here in front of 250. I think this trade might start to. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but
And similarly, the commander of the Revolutionary Guards Aerospace Force says, be sure that the attack on the enemy will not stop for a
yeah, you're
moment.
not getting any. You're not getting much. See if I can turn this down a little bit. So DTCK. You're not getting much off of this level at 260. You're not getting much follow through there, right? So if you take it here, not to say you can't make any money, but this 20-day has to hold here. Like, you want to see it pull in. Look at the volume here. Look at this low liquidity volume down here, right? Once you retested it, the first test, you had a nice candle, but buyers stepped away, guys. So I watch if watch if it just holds, because then that would tell me you're going to have people try to short this, right? If this
And
doesn't
just more
break,
defiant remarks coming out of Iran. The foreign policy advisor to the office of the supreme leader says we are able to continue the war for a long time. As the foreign policy advisor to the office of the supreme leader, we are able to continue the war for a long time.
okay, cool. Okay, so I can just hit the mouse. This thing's just fooling with me. Okay. Yeah. So right here, guys. Okay. You pulled in. You had a nice extension, right? You had just about the highest volume of the day through this previous high, but you wanted to pull in and hold 280, not break 280. 280 would have been a nice, you know, that would tell me you probably have another leg, but you broke below it. I mean, you got your 20-day here, but this is the second test. So you got that nice push, and now you're right back to it. And look, when you first got into there, so that's why I think it was a short. Um, but here's what I'm saying. So you're going to start seeing people short this right now. You got the 15-minute 225 trade line previous high, $2.25. Watch if this thing just holds $2.25 with like not a ton of volume. Okay, if it does that, I would look for that 20-day the 20-day moving average to then for it to try to revisit it and try to get through it. And at the same time, you're going to have what I just said, me looking for that. You're going to have shorts, you know, take their money. You're going to have buyers look for that hold and possible grind higher. So you could start to see a little bit of a short squeeze. I, I'm not saying you could, but that is what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. I just speaking out loud, if that makes any sense. All right. So I'm watching that zone down there, and I want to see how it reacts. If it just kind of like gets there and just hangs out, I'm going to look to see if there's another little long there. I doubt I'll take it, but I think that trade's somewhat over with. But we'll see. They're already still trying to hold it. All right, hymns. Options are back now down to the price that I'm acceptable purchasing. But I think I may not have a trade today, guys. I may not have a trade. I may not have a trade today. And that's okay. Man, that phone call really messed me up. Once again, my charts jump to the right. Why does it keep doing that? Makes no sense. Jumps to the right. Okay. Let's talk about some news, things that are trending. Okay, so names that are trending. Obviously, hymns. We have that up right now. Let's go look at Nvidia. Look at Nvidia, guys. Nvidia's going. There was news on Nvidia Friday. Nice hold of the 20-day moving at 200-day moving average. That trade's gone. I missed that. That was another idea I wanted to look at today. Dude, why do they have all these sloppy tickers trending right now? Like it's all awful. Like what? The only name that's decent on there is hymns. WTI, BLK. Like that's really the only large cap name or like liquid name. Maybe AZI. That sounds like a yeah. It's a 50-cent stock, bro. All right, so we have some previous lows up here. I'm gonna move this. I don't know why I have that there. I don't know why I have that there. I'm actually going to just take it off. I'm sure there was a reason why. Trade's over with. Let's see, man. If this could still be a nice little trade here. I don't like the volume. I'd like to see more volume. Let's see if we can get 178 again. Can we get back down into this zone? I have to look at a lower time frame to see if it already hit it. I know it's a little quiet. I apologize. Nice is also very nice to be on. Okay, I'll check it out. NICE. Let's go here. All right, so Nvidia is going green. Let's see if we can get ourselves a pullback in here, and maybe we this is really helping the Qs out. So the Qs are in the Friday's lows, you guys. I'd still be careful here, unless something shows up. Why do I have that off?
Inflation readings
I'm
may
sorry,
not be
guys.
very useful since the periods are before the Iran war started,
This isn't.
and since then energy and crop prices have increased, signaling further inflation upside in the months ahead,
So
potentially limiting central banks' hand in lowering interest rates.
the G7 saying again they will continue to watch energy markets and they'll do whatever they need to do, as they should, as we already figured. I'm gonna save all this stuff here and just see if I can get my charts to stop moving on me. Do you guys have any questions? Any tickers, guys? Throw tickers into the chat, like real tickers, right? Like a Boeing, Lockheed Martin, uh, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, right? Like something decent. I'm not. It's past. Unless you have like something real going on, as far as like small caps, like I only say that because it's 1050. All right, I'm not really worried about small caps right this second, personally. I'll be on earlier tomorrow morning now that everything is set up. I think this week's going to be a really opportunistic week. I really do. So, I've been trying to watch YouTube the past like for a little while just to have like some type of noise, and it's just awful, bro. It's awful, right? Stock market live. This dude is wild. Cool, like he's not wrong about the long term, but Josh, I make money every day. Like, what do you mean? And I stuff it into the long term. What do you mean options are a scam or like what? Like the people that say that haven't changed their ways to learn the ways to do it right. There's a right way and a wrong way. You have to continuously make the right decisions. That's it. That's it. You can stop out. You can control how much you lose, right? I didn't take HIMS because I didn't get the right price that I wanted. So I didn't take it. I don't know. I don't think options work for me. I sell them. I buy them. I sold. I got
So,
short
Advent,
Tesla about a
according to
week
Bloomberg,
ago,
is
two
said to
weeks
be
ago,
exploring a £3
and then
billion
I sold the
plus sale of
490
Ultra Maritime.
and
According to
bought the
Bloomberg.
485 puts, and then once it bounced, I sold the 417. No, I sold the 415 calls and bought the 420 calls. So, and not only did I bought puts right off the bell. So you just have to, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. It doesn't work for some. It works. It works for some. It doesn't work for some. You just gotta know what you're doing. So here we go, guys. If the longer this consolidation happens on HIMS, you could start to see a lot of these shorts start to cover a little bit, and this thing could start to trend to the upside of the range. Something I may think about here. I'm not gonna lie. If I told you I wasn't thinking about the long, but I just I wish there was more. I just don't have enough. I had the price for the entry, but that was about it. I'm seeing more reasons to sell than to buy. I'm just curious if we get a continuation. I may go for it. The buying's really just slowed up. If we get another pullback into 21 and 21 holds, I would be taking your money. You should have already taken it down into 21. We said that's been an area of support. It might be happening now. No, can't do it. Can't. Good.
Folks, G7 official just confirming the earlier news. They will be holding a teleconference on Tuesday, the energy ministers and the G7 leaders will have a telephone conference later this week. That's according to a G7 official.
Going up.
See. I just want to see where traders.
Yeah, the VIX is down 3%. That's great. That's actually kind of crazy.
It's not that crazy. So nothing really there. Sean was trading small caps. Let's see here. 1.3. Let me just go over some charts here. Kind of get my stuff going here. I'd like to be able to answer some questions or be able to make this stream fun, but it doesn't seem like I'm very good at entertaining, and I'm sorry. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to entertain. Nice. Let's check this out. What does this company do? Yeah, if you get back into these 120s, what does this company do? What does Nice do?
And just a bit more commentary, G7 related. There was a broad consensus at the finance minister's call on Monday not to release all reserves just yet. Again, we're pretty much in keeping with the comments we've had out of France. G7 official just confirming it. There was a broad consensus from finance ministers on call not to release all reserves just yet.
Let's go look at Bitcoin. Let's go look at Bitcoin.
And the official just saying that the final decision will be made by leaders later this week.
I'm going to have to log back in. Give me 1 second.
And just be aware, US President Trump comments in the New York Post. He says nowhere near sending troops to Iran. Not happy with Iran's new supreme leader, but nowhere near ordering Iran ground mission. So that's the New York Post citing some comments from President Trump. He says he's not happy with the new Iranian supreme leader, but US is, quote, nowhere near ordering Iran ground mission. That's the NYP reporting.
So they just said they're not going to empty them just yet, and you're right here at this prior support level. So
About a
does
minute to the
oil
top of the
bounce
hour. We'll be
again?
on the lookout for this New York Fed survey of consumer expectations for Feb.
Long term's getting hit today. I'm up. Well, I was up over 100%. It was about 113, 115% on Google. I had never owned it for the longest time, and man, it's all good. I'm not worried about it. Let's see. we are getting some tech. Let's go look at what is moving. AVGO. That was actually a setup
New
I
York
was looking
Fed
at last
survey
week.
just crossing. It doesn't capture the Iran war impact on inflation, shows stability in February inflation expectations.
All right, so we have this upper trend line here.
And the 1 year ahead at 3% versus 3.1% in the prior reading. And the 3 and 5 year both steady at 3% once again.
Okay, so we have I want to read this to you guys, okay? So their NATO has again intercepted missiles heading into is that supposed to say Turkey or Turkey? Turkey. Maybe that's a Saudi Arabia type of. Maybe I read that wrong. I thought it was Tarkiv or something like that. Maybe I don't know. To defend all allies against any threat, IRGC states we use super heavy missiles in the latest wave of attacks for. Let's see, exclamation straight up Hormuz adds that the exclamation possible once the hottest. Okay. All right. All right. So let's get back down to business. All right. AVGO semiconductors on a roll today. If you were a part of that, congratulations. Nice job. If you guys could hit the like button, that'd be awesome. Oh my god. Come on. So much. Oh my god. Come on, bro. You gotta be kidding me, bro.
Update for Anthropic reportedly seeks a court order to reverse the blacklist and restore federal contracts, according to the press, citing its suit.
Damn, look at that tail, guys. That is a wicked tail. That is a wicked tail. That is a massive reversal on a daily there. so DDD had earnings. Just give me 1 second, guys. I am just give me one. Oh my goodness, I forgot SNDK today. That. Oh my gosh, I wanted to buy it this morning too. Excuse my French. I knew that was your opportunity for the next earnings release to get SNDK down there at that 50-day moving average of $500. That is a good buy. I think the stock goes to to $1,200. I do by the next earnings release. I do. The way that they're growing, I still think you see another leg in SNDK. I'm personally bullish. I know it's ran a lot, guys, but in my opinion, you get a nice run up into the next earnings and they report. I still think you see about $1,000 on SNDK. I do. I think there's still a lot of upside on this. May take a little bit to get there, but you know. All right, I'm almost done here. So, all right, I am actually done now. Okay. All right, let's rock. Let's do this. All right, so SNDK, unfortunately, that's a mess. Dude, I've had my phone charging this whole time. You guys have tickers. You could throw them in the
Just making you aware of remarks from the German finance minister says we have the option to tap our national oil reserves.
I have to use the restroom real quick. Pull up the cues. We'll turn on some CNBC. What time is it? It's 11. Damn, they're going to copyright it for me.
I'll tell you that I'm skeptical. And you know what you just said is why this case is so politically popular, and this was a little bit surprising because it really has bipartisan interest. It has bipartisan support. You know, it consumer support.
We're going to
Kid
go over
Rock was going to
charts.
come
I just
along,
have
and he
to
was
use
going to
the
be a
restroom.
witness for the plaintiffs in this case. Because Live Nation has been under a Department of Justice consent order since 2010. So in other words, since 2010, the way they behave in the marketplace was supposed to be regulated. They were supposed to behave in a certain way, and they've managed to really get around that for years. In fact, during the first Trump administration, the Department of Justice investigated, determined that Live Nation was violating the terms of that order and extended it and sort of bolstered its terms.
Okay.
And now this case came along with the allegation that no, Live Nation
USO
continues to violate the terms of that order. And so my skepticism comes from
watch the
there are
NQ
new terms
if it
here
starts
that
to
they're
fill
talking
this.
about.
Watch the NQ if you take out those prior lows from Friday and you've already taken out Wednesday and Tuesday lows, okay? Keep an eye 246 on the Qs or the NQ. Keep an eye on that.
SeatGeek was
I
one
would
of the
play
witnesses I
NVIDIA.
heard
I'd
last
watch
week.
NVIDIA,
And
names
SeatGeek
like that.
started as a secondary ticket seller.
have a
They were
little
just a
more room.
marketplace to bring together people who wanted to sell tickets they couldn't use and buyers. But they're trying to get into what's called primary ticketing, being the first one to ticket an event, and really have struggled. And they say they have struggled because of Live Nation, that they have superior technology, that their platform is better, that what they can offer venues is better, but they haven't been able to get those venues signed up because either they have a long-term exclusive agreement to be ticketed by Ticketmaster, or because Live Nation, which is a huge promoter, handles artist tours, said, we'll route our artists around your venue. We won't bring them to your venue if you use some company other than Ticketmaster. So really what we've seen is that Ticketmaster doesn't have a lot of competition in the ticketing area, and part of it is allegedly because of its own conduct.
All right, Jennifer Reese, Bloomberg Intelligence senior litigation analyst. Thanks for putting this Live Nation settlement with the DOJ in perspective for us. My big takeaway is I'm not going to be paying less for ticket prices anytime soon. But Jennifer, thanks so much for being with us. We want to get to a red headline crossing the terminal right now.
We are open to drawing on our
Anthropic
national oil
is
reserves if
suing
necessary.
the Defense Department over those supply chain risk labels. So we're going to see this fight now being escalated, Scarlett, between Anthropic and the Defense Department, and some in the AI space.
And the German finance minister adds that the use of oil reserves is an option that is on the table but is not yet being utilised.
All right. Hims is breaking above. Talked about that was more than likely going to happen. Let's see. Let me pull up the Qs. All right, so we are right now at Friday's lows on the Qs.
An update from Fox's Edward Lawrence. As a source familiar with the meeting tells me there are positive signs that G7 countries will coordinate a release from the SPR to lower the price of a barrel of oil. Nothing can happen until energy ministers meet tomorrow. The source tells me there are positive signs from the French energy minister and from the US.
So we never got that 200. You just stuck that pre-market high right there that I had marked out from earlier this morning. I did set an alert down there.
So just to clarify, that was Fox's Edward Lawrence saying a source familiar with the meeting tells me that there were positive signs that G7 countries will coordinate a release from the SPR to lower the price of a barrel of oil. Nothing can happen until energy ministers meet tomorrow, but the source tells me there are positive signs from the French energy minister and the US.
What I would do is I'd wait and see if you can't get a pullback. Okay, you're gonna test Friday's lows. You don't have anything stopping you. That's the problem here. You're above that 4-hour trade line now. You're above the 4-hour trade line. I would zoom down, go down to that 15-minute chart, all right, and I'd look for this zone here to see if you can hold on low volume pullbacks. Look, don't get sucked in. There is something very clear right here on the chart that is telling you you should not be long. If you go long, you may get, you might be in a little bit of trouble. Okay? I'm not going to give it away because I want you guys to fish to yourself, but there is something very clear on this chart that says, if I'm long, I should probably take my money, you know, as soon as I'm paid. Because there's a probability here more so that we reverse than we continue higher. Right? You got a little bit of room here. Not to say you can't test, this prior Friday's close, Friday's lowish. Obviously, Friday's low is right there. Right? You have a double bottom right there, 498.45-ish. Okay? But this trade got away, and I think you see 596, unless you start to see a squeeze. That could also. I'm not falling for it right now, guys. I'm sorry. I just see a few things here that tell me to wait and be patient. That I feel like if I were to take the long right now, you're not getting much. You're not getting much here. I think your best bet is to honestly just wait for like 596, 595. That's what I'm going to do. Maybe I look for the short up here. Maybe I look for the short up here. Yeah, guys. That's gonna be my trade. I'm telling you right now, we get up into 600, I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna be short off of 600, back down into this 596 level. I'm giving it to you right now. Giving it to you right now. Let me turn on Josh just to see what's going on. I need something to listen to. So forgive me if you see this, Josh. I apologize, but I need something to listen to real quick to. Go over there if you guys want to like his stream. I need something to listen to. So
Leave that for you guys. Make sure you check them out. I'll give you another update at the end of the day.
Sorry,
and then
I'm
locked in. We're still gonna have our watch list. So now everybody gets.
Unless you guys have questions, tickers, throw them in the chat, and we'll cover them. But right now, I'm kind of eyeing this setup up here. Oh shit! This is all jacked up. We're good. We're probably not gonna get it. Man, I want 600, you guys. I want 600 bad. Give me 600, please. We're kind of. I want 600. See if we break 598. Break 598. Wait. I thought I had up the Qs. Wait. Yeah. Did I just have up the SPY and I was talking about the Qs? Okay. That was my fault. I had up the SPY and I was talking about the Qs. Yep, here it goes. 598 starting to break here. 598 starting to break here. There may not be it. Guys, this is going to be a scalp, man. This isn't. That's why I wanted 600. I wanted to see if you could get a quick push into 600 and then take that short from 600 into 596. The risk to reward's not really worth it right now. There it goes. There it goes. You may end up still getting it. Everything's positive. Thing is, you're going to be fighting the trend, so you need to know what you're doing. This sucks, man. I missed hymns. We had that set up. All right, I'm going to turn this on, and if you guys have any questions, hit the like button. Throw some tickers in the chat, or like, what are you watching? If you see anything, I'm doing the best that I can do to try to help you guys, and kind of just speaking out loud what I'm thinking for myself.
Question, and as always, I would say it is critical to invest in top tier private equity and private debt managers who have real risk metrics and due diligence into each of their underlying securities.
Anything that we need to know and that your clients are asking around tax changes, just with the One Big Beautiful Bill, the midterm elections
We haven't talked
coming
about
up.
that.
I think those
Midterm volatility, baby. Oil. So 96.95, my friends. You're about 50 cents away, I believe, from the low. Yeah, no, about 60, 96.30-ish. But yeah, man, oil's starting to go down again, even Brent and WTI. So again, ever since, where was it? Like right around here, the G7 comment, they said they're not releasing the oil and they're going to keep talking about it. All boils
They didn't say
down
they
to
weren't
timing.
going to release it. They
But
said
yeah,
they're
we're
going to
still
wait.
going up. I have no idea who that was.
They said they're going to wait.
Yeah.
I can't. That's not what they said. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. This is
Just
why
keep an
I
eye
said
on
I
crude
can't
prices. We're
watch
continuing to pair the earlier upside. WTI now down to 95.63. Brent
They said they're meeting.
now below $100 per barrel
They're not
at
releasing it yet, 'cause they
98.55.
don't
The
have
latest
to.
update on that
They didn't
G7
say they're
meeting
not
we did get from Fox's Edward Lawrence says a source told him positive signs that the countries will coordinate a release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
Positive
But
signs.
nothing
The
again
G7
can happen
countries
until
will
the
coordinate
energy
a
ministers meet
release
tomorrow.
from the
But the
SPR
source
to
says
lower
there
the
are
price of
positive
a
signs
barrel
from the
of the
French
oil. That's
energy minister and from the US.
Be careful who you guys listen to. All right, be careful who you listen to. They did not say that. They said, in fact, the opposite. So I can't be entertaining. I gotta get to work. All right, that's why you're seeing oil just continue to pull back.
Whether you're a professional.
Throw up the scanner. It's hilarious that I saved my charts and it's still not. All right, so the SPY is going in right into that Friday low, guys. Friday's low. What is this chart doing, man? Struggling today.
Just an update from CNN citing a top Iranian official who is an foreign policy advisor to the Supreme Leader's office, stated in a CNN interview that Iran is prepared for a long war with the US and will continue attacking Gulf countries
All right, here we
to
go.
pressure them to
Previous lows
convince
from
Trump
Tuesday.
to
Previous
de-escalate.
lows from Friday. We're bouncing right into it on the ES. Hurry up. What the fuck? Look at this thing. It's going nuts. Try it again.
And further, that official to CNN said, who ruled out diplomacy for now and said the war would only end through economic pain.
I don't know why futures are taking so long to load up. I don't understand. I don't understand.
And the official says there's no room unless the economic pressure would be built up to the extent that other
So we're
countries
about to
would
go
intervene to
positive here
guarantee the
on the
termination of
30-minute time
aggression of
frame.
Americans and
All right,
Israelis
I'm
against
still
Iran.
looking for 200-day moving average or 670 on the ES. Pullbacks at 670. Or if we can break above these lows, what I'd also like to see, guys, is if we break above these lows, okay, I'm not all the way bullish just yet. Okay, I'm not. But as long as oil keeps pulling back, I kind of have to be. So I'm going to watch these lows. If we get up there, I want to see a consolidation. Second thing I'm looking for, number 2, a rejection off of them and back into the 200-day moving average / 670. Okay, just to pull back into this zone here. Okay, bink. Okay, I want to see it pull right into this zone there, or chop. Just sit here and just bounce around. Let's go back to HIMS. The Qs are pushing in the 600. I'm ready. I may end up trying for a short up there at 600.
Just an update on Bank of England pricing. Traders no longer pricing a chance of a Bank of England rate hike this year.
Or if there's any meetings or any speeches or anything today that could cause. Let's look real quick. Let's see if there's anything out of the White House. Because if Trump or anybody from the administration goes up and talks and they start, still trying to,
Just an update here from Mexico's Deputy Trade Minister says the main USMCA issues are the rules of origin and supply chains.
Pullback is what I'm saying. All right, public schedule. Let's see here. Never mind. I don't want that. It's not giving it to me. Of course, it doesn't want to. So we have a briefing. Let's see here. There will be no department press briefing today. So there is no briefing today. Okay. Really, I need to watch something. All right, so there's the SPY. How's everybody feeling today? How are you guys doing? You guys good? You guys have a good weekend? I hope you did. Man, this is a nice level here, guys. I got to be honest. This is a nice level. I'm curious as to see. Just tough, man. We had a nice trade this morning. Let's not mistake that today was a waste. All right, HIMS offered a nice opportunity. Yeah, I don't think
More from Mexico. So could cut the fuel tax to offset higher global fuel prices.
That is a pretty mean wedge, guys. You guys see it?
And Mexican President Sheinbaum to meet with the finance minister on oil price spike.
You got the top side of it right there, but the bottom end, it's not.
Just an update here from the Turkish president says main goal is keeping Turkey out of the Iran conflict.
Well, if it's not a mistake, they just said that they hit you guys. What do you mean you're trying to stay out of it? Fuck out of here. Get out of here. I mean, if they're seems like they're going after everybody. And we talked about it this morning. You see why they hit them. There's been a lot, man. I mean, they got a lot of they're responsible for a lot of lives in Ukraine lost too, right? A lot of the drones, not all of them, but Russia has sent a lot of drones from India. India's drones, they're the only ones that look like they do. If you don't know, and yeah, they don't want to negotiate. They've killed a lot of people. They've killed their own people, and I think after killing their own people and simultaneously you know, not giving two shits to, have a meeting with the United States, they were just like, you know what, we're done. We're done with you guys. You guys have just this reign of terror is just it's enough. It's enough, right? From the past 3-4 years with Ukraine, Russia, you know. So I can't blame them. I don't blame them. Oh rat, oh rat, oh rat. So it is 11:30. What are you gonna do here? What are you gonna do, Spy? I'm gonna check in on Hims real quick. We're just consolidating. I am not surprised by this consolidation because I said it this morning. I said be careful that you could just get a consolidation.
Update for US 3-month bills. So high rate 3.605%. Bid to cover 2.92 times. 6-month bills, they were sold at a high rate of 3.535%. Bid to cover at 3.09 times.
I bought some. I bought some a few weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I went digging. I bought a few different bonds before. It was funny because the timing seemed to be right. Now we're getting a 30-year. So as I was starting to do it, oddly enough, the market was doing it. So it's kind of tells me that I'm unknowingly with the market, right? Like not trying to be with it, just naturally. You're seeing that pullback off of the 30-year, and I too was buying. So it's just funny how I don't know. I can't explain it like other than I don't buy them often, but when I do, they do too. Apparently. So trending names. I want to go through some stocks here. I just wanted to look at Hims. So you have
Update from the Czech Central Bank says discussions about potential rate hike is very premature.
Hims is still negative. Hims is still negative. Where are the okay, so we were looking at the 22 puts. Let's go back. Let's go back to it. I don't really want to fight this market if it's going to head to the upside. Dude, this thing is just it's just stuck. Dude, this was going to happen. Back above previous highs. We might be able to get a $2 move here. If we can hold $22, I might see. Every time I want to go long, I look and I see a few different things that tell me I should not be long. And the thing is, that's when you lose money, right? Is by doing what you want to do. Like right now, I'm seeing a lot more things telling me to be short than to be long. And that's usually when you lose money. Either you shouldn't have the trade on in the first place.
Just an update from the IAEA chief
Or
Grossi says we believe a bit more than 200
like,
kg of Iran's
fighting.
uranium enriched up to 60% purity was stored at Isfahan. Widespread assumption is that the material is still there.
See, look, and it's starting to break. Isn't that funny? See how funny and manipulative, like, people were probably seeing, like, thinking the same thing, like, oh, this is a nice long, and it's really, in turn, a short. And that's how, they're like, oh, the market's rigged. The market's rigged. Well, rig it in your favor. If it's rigged, then you should be able to make money from it if you know it's rigged. See how I stopped myself right there? And I'm like, no, I want to go long, but you just can't. You just can't fight the chart. You go fight the chart, you lose money. I don't recommend it. I thought I fixed this. I tried to tell them. They didn't want to come to the negotiating table, so we had to hit them where it hurts. All right, so I'm gonna give Hims just a little bit, and I want to see if things start to switch, because you're not getting the downside. Okay, you're not getting the downside. You're slowly getting this 3 minute, like your lower time frame from your 1 minute, 3 minute. That's trying to make a change, um, and that could be because anybody that was short, they've made money, and they may be starting to say, you know what, this thing is not moving. I'm just going to go ahead and get out. 21 is, it's a minor level in my opinion. That's that prior low here. Got it on the daily chart. And it's held twice. You went down there and you put in a double bottom down here at that 21 level. So we're just kind of hanging out. I would really, really, really like to get up there at like 24 or so. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Like, do we continue to hang on to this 22 level and try to get a run back into this 50-day moving average? Right? I'd be lying if I didn't say it's not ready yet. Look, there's your low volume. You know what? Maybe I'm going to try to put this on. I'm going to try. I'm going to put it on real quick. Again, I'll probably miss the trade because I don't have I'm not ready. I don't know what where the volume is. All right, so we have a 44 delta. You saw how important it was when we short.
An update here from the FT notes that Pakistan has launched a naval operation near Iran. Its military announced on Monday.
You have to be able to pick the right contracts, guys. As to versus what your expectations are out of the stock. Where is it? Where do you expect it to go, and how much?
And just further in the report, it notes it has dispatched its Navy to escort merchant vessels traveling to its ports.
Like that on the back of your. Just in your mind. So 52. I'm going to go with the 22s again. They were just $1. Yeah, so they are again. So it broke. Again, I'm fighting the chart. You see what happens? It doesn't hold. Man, that was trying to look good. This might be the short. This might be the start of the short now. This thing's tricky, man. The chart is telling you not to be long. I kind of was like, man, is it going to change? Just don't fight it. You can't fight the chart. I mean, there's a double bot. You have a gap up there, double bottom up here. Watch this 15-minute chart or this 15-minute time frame here at the bottom left. So for you don't know, 3-minute chart, top right, time in sales, 1 minute, 5-minute, with pre-market. It did happen after hours, so you have to remember that. It's important to use when the news came out after hours. So you want to have um, those indicators on. You want to be looking at those indicators from after hours because the news came out after hours. So you want to keep an eye on the indicators there from pre-market after hours. Man, that's a second break. Let's see what happens here. Keep an eye on your time and sales on the stock. Let's see if sellers really dig in here and buyers step away. We don't have the details to the deal. I said that this morning. At least I haven't seen the details. So, what do you have to go off of? You got to be short here, but like this is your third attempt at 21.
And more from the IAEA Director Grossi says it does not expect Iran's Bashir NPP to be attacked. And more from the Turkish president. Warnings have been issued to Iran. Separately from the Hungarian PM, Orban says will cap fuel prices.
There it is. Did you hear that? There it was. See, the market is trying to bounce here, and
And Turkish president also says will continue to take additional measures after deploying F-16 jets in northern Cyprus.
let me get ready and go here, guys. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna watch this 21 zone again, and if I put anything on, I'll let you guys know. It may wrap up soon. You're getting some news right now. Pakistan launches naval operation near Iran. Pakistan Navy is to escort merchant vessels to ports via Financial Times. It looks like this is more than 200 kilograms of uranium enriched to 60% purity was stored in Isfahan, with initial assessment indicating the material remains in place. So Iran. Let's discuss a possible rate hike. getting ready to get the lunchtime on CNBC. U.S. tells 3 months bills at higher rate. Okay. Will cap few. So right there you have Hungary's price prime minister coming out saying they're going to put a cap on prices. So you're getting that. You're getting it already. All right. So right now, let me make sure.
An update concerning some metals, so mid-eastbound bauxite and alumina vessels are diverting due to the Hormuz blockage, according to vessel tracking data. And so does note that 3 bauxite carriers, the Richmond, Glory Energy and Penelope Oldendorf, with a combined cargo of 371,000 metric tons, have veered away from their intended designation of the UAE, with some potentially diverting to Asia, and 2 alumina vessels also appeared to be changing course from the Bahraini port destination, with one last seen off the coast of Sri Lanka.
That didn't make any sense. I can't remember if we were in the 22 puts.
An update from the UK DMO plans for 10-year area gilt syndication in April.
So again, right now,
An update here from the MSC will apply an emergency fuel surcharge to all cargo from Northern Europe, including the UK and Scan Baltic, to Red Sea and East Africa. So as from 16th of March this year until further notice, the EFS will, from Scan Baltic to Red Sea, will be charged at $120 per dry TEU, $180 reefer per TEU.
Gilt syndicate in April. Plans 10-year gilt. Okay. All right. It's just not. It's gonna be interesting here at 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if you want to watch HIMS at 1 o'clock when you get this 4-hour time frame change, it's gonna be pretty interesting what happens here and see if things change. But so far the downside has been the play. It hasn't really moved. It's not giving you much continuation. It's making you money, not a lot, but so here we go. We're getting the 15-minute time frame coming up. It's hard for me to get long, but I think I might try to give it a try here. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of I'm seeing more reasons to be short than to be long. But even if we can get a bounce back into pre-market highs, okay, if we can hold down here again, you're starting to now get some things to help you back to the upside. So, okay, I'm going to keep a tight stop if I do it. There's a few things I want to see. And that was what? That was. Just got to remember. Gotta watch these. 21, right? Okay, I'm watching the 22 calls. Not to say that I am going to be long. Shit, we could have just got them for $1. You're up 20%. Just like, damn, it didn't even move and you were already up. I'm actually going to I'm gonna start this here. Okay, I'm gonna start it.
Now get remarks from Russian President Putin. Says changes in logistics for all deliveries will take a long time and require significant expenditure. Says
I'm
all
watching these
delivery
previous
logistics.
lows here.
And just repeat another headline running
Okay.
the same remark.
I'm not going to go heavy in these. I am going to limit order.
And further from Putin says all production linked to the Strait of Hormuz risks coming to a complete halt as early as next month.
I want to see what happens if we can get to 21. It'll probably be a little pain in the ass and not give us 21. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe it gets down there and it just straight cuts it. Maybe it doesn't get there at all, but that's 50 cents. So
And Putin says that global gas prices are growing faster than oil prices. Russian companies need to take advantage of the current situation. The Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed, Putin says.
it's probably no trade here.
And just an update from New York Post says, citing Trump tells the press no reason to panic over Iran war oil price surge. Quote, I have a plan for everything. Says airport delays already addressed.
Okay, so Donald Trump is coming out making remarks. So here we go. We're getting that pullback into 21. I think this thing starts to try to crank a little bit now because it hasn't done anything.
And Trump, just going back to the remarks where he said, I have a plan for everything.
A little bit of upside.
Didn't provide any further details, the New York Post says. And Trump also said that he's not happy with Iran's choice for a new supreme leader.
And that was the Gulf Storm, Desert Storm. That was the other time, again, the 90s, 1990, 1991. That's when we also released from the SPR, one of the 5 times in history.
I gotta listen to something, guys.
And that was down 33%. Other than that, 306%, April 20th, 2020.
Stock market thing. I see.
Going back to Putin says we will continue to supply energy resources to countries that are reliable partners.
30-second velocities up again.
Says the current high commodity prices are
high.
temporary.
Let's see the other guys. Oh, where's the dollar? So dollar's still up, but not as bad. Again, gold and silver haven't really made a move. Again, copper, that was the one that kind of ripped back up, but it's right at break even. We watched that live on stream. We got those free plays.
We will certainly continue supplying oil and gas to those countries that are themselves reliable partners.
That was crazy. The
such as
backwardation
Slovakia
was so
and Hungary.
bad.
All right, so we have an alert here for HIMS. All right, what happens again here? Wait, we're still oh shit! Nah, we're good. How did I not see this? Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. How did I not see this? Oh my god, I'm a goofball. Oh man.
More from Putin says if European buyers suddenly decide to reorientate themselves and provide us with long-term work without politics, we are ready.
Look, that volume is horrid. It's horrid. Just let it do its thing, man. I don't want to miss this. I think this could give us some really good opportunity down here. Part of me wants to take this. Give me another shot down at like 120, 21.25, and I'll give it 25 cents to make $2. Right? I don't like what I'm seeing, but it can change. Right? That can change. It's not that things remain constant. What I'm talking about is things like indicators. Right? Those indicators can make a change. They're not going to remain constant. And the thing is if you get the cues to start to pull back and reject, another thing, the indicators are kind of telling you you're more than likely going to get a pullback up here. But if you don't, and the indicators change and something changes, it doesn't remain constant. But as of right now, I think you see a pullback on the cues. I'm leery about going long on HIMS. I'm going to try to give it a shot. Again,
Just making you aware, Trump, posting on True Social, says just spoke with the Australian PM concerning the Iranian national women's soccer
I was
team.
hoping to get another
He
shot. Like,
is
I
on it.
don't.
5 have already been
I
taken
would
care
see,
of. The rest are on their
so
way.
for anybody watching, right now, you're talking about 60 cents instead of 20 cents on that risk, right? That's a big difference, right? Going from 20 cents to 60 cents, that's a 200% increase that you have put on yourself as far as your risk. It's a mean reversal right there. So I still have no trade on today. Come on, give us at least 25 cents. I'll give it, going from risking 25 cents to risking 50 cents. That's a 100% increase in your risk. All right, time and sale. Sorry, it's time to watch here. Please give me. It's not going to give me the pullback. Come on, please. Just give me a little pullback here. It's not going to. Shit. So I'm looking at the 22 calls. I'm going to be patient here. Let's pull it in. Let's pull it in a little bit. Come on. Come on. Nvidia is still grinding higher, you guys. Shit. If I don't get it, I don't get it. It's no big deal. I'm not worried about it. I know that I'm gonna pay the right price. That's all it comes down to. Because when I get them, it's gonna be a nice win, right? I'm gonna pay the right price. I'm gonna lose less. I'm gonna make more. I don't think a lot of people that come into this stream, I think, fully understand and grasp the capabilities that I've been doing this for a long time. I mean, so look here, guys. You got your 15-minute trade line coming in right there, support. But what's psyching me out? Look at this volume down here. Look at this. You pulled back in, break, retest, but look at that retest. Look how little that is. But again, it's not remaining constant, right? It's changing. Look at the sell side volume at the top left, right? It's a little bit greater. So, you're getting. I'm just waiting for them to figure out what they want to do. One of them's going to give up, right? It's either going to be the seller or it's going to be the buyer. Here we go. What happens right here? I'm going to put in a bid for the 22 calls. 112 is at the bid right now. You can see it here. I should just do 114. What do I have?
Just further update from the Mexican economic minister says consultation shows that all sectors want the USMCA to remain.
They did fill me, so I got filled there. I'm just going to give this a little bit of room. They've been tricking me with 9. Okay. All right, so I am in on those 22 calls. Small, nothing crazy. Look, there's the low volume. It may give it up, and that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you'll still get a pullback. You guys can get it cheaper than me. You guys will be able to get it cheaper than me. I may actually get rid of this and go back in cheaper. Here we go. Let's go. Yeah, I think you're going to see this test of this not at the 15-minute trade line. I'm going to start. That's about 15 cents now. Limit. Come on. Let me. I'm just going to take some off here. We're going to take some off. It's a nice little scalp. No big deal. If I can do it in time. 135. I have a limit at 135. Let's see if I get filled. Come on, give me. They're not going to fill me. They're not going to fill me. 132. I got one contract. You see it right there at the bottom right. That's me. 133. They filled me. They gave it to me. Another 15-cent move right there. Nothing crazy. Here's the thing, guys. I think we still get a little bit more of a pullback, or it starts to really break out. And I want to be in this. I want to be in this trade for a couple days. Nice job. That was a nice trade right there. Nice trade. So I made a little bit of money right here. So this candle, so we got a little while before this candle closes.
Further update from the IAEA chief. Grossi says some of the rest of Iran's uranium enriched to up to 60% may be at Natanz, but it is mostly located in Isfahan. And getting remarks from the Iranian Foreign Ministry says all tankers transiting the Strait of Hormuz must be very careful.
I gotta make something to eat here in a little bit. But I'm watching this because it's on 138 now. I will come back to this. 5 minute looks good. 5 minute looks good here on HIMS. 5 minute looks good. Again, put in the chat, guys. If you guys, I mean, it's obviously that's stuff you need to do in the morning. It's getting a little later. I'm gonna go over some charts, kind of just keep preparing myself for the week here. It's a nice little long there. Nice trade. Nice to get one off. Small, 3 contracts there. Nothing crazy. I want to be in this trade. Like, I want to get.
And according to reports, US President Trump reviewing options to combat oil prices. Just waiting more details within that report.
Maybe it is right yet.
And does add is it would come as soon as Monday. So Trump to review options to combat spike in oil prices as soon as Monday, according to sources reports.
You got damn near got about 30 cents so far. You're up 30% at least. At least. Even if you market ordered in, you're up 30%. Because you got $1.43, $1.36, and we entered at $1.10, $1.12. I think I got filled at $1.12. And I think you could have got in better than me. Oh no, I got in at 114. So there you go, 145, 152. All right, I got a 114 entry on that. That's what they filled me at. Oh, that's right, because the bid was at 110, 112. It's like 112. So here we go. You're starting to get that change, right? The risk to reward. We were going to be risking about 25 cents. We were patient. We didn't take the that bounce. That was a 60. That was a 40-cent bounce from 21.25. Right? We were saying here, right? We need it down into this zone here that like it popped right into 60 cents up here. And if you're saying you're going to buy at 21.25 and it bounces up to
So just further in that
$1.75,
report
that's a
regarding
200%
Trump options
risk.
to combat oil price
You're going to risk
spike,
25 cents.
those
to
would
make
include restricting
$2.
US exports
You take
as
that
well
25,
as potentially
make it
waiving federal
75.
taxes.
Now you've really skewed your risk to reward. Right? 75 cents to make $2. It's what, 100% instead of 25 cents to make $2, right? That's why people don't make money in this market.
And another
it's not that
option
they
does
don't know what
include
they're
releasing
doing.
the strategic
They don't know what
reserves.
they're doing as far as the execution, and being patient, right? And being okay with missing trades. I missed the short this morning. I missed the long, but I got a little bit right there. I think you're starting to see that change. So now I'm going to look for a bigger picture long to see if we can't get back up into these pre-market highs, possibly even test the 50-day moving average. Let me go use the restroom real quick. I think that's happening now. Good job if you're on it. Nice job. I think it's on, guys. I think this thing starts to go. I do. Going into lunchtime. Nice job.
Whether it's the fact that coming down, profit growth, stimulus from the budget bill, a number of cushions, but we see those cushions being eaten into, for instance, with Friday's labor reports. The point of this being is that the longer this goes on, the more damage will be done, and frankly, there isn't that much time left until we get the Straits of Hormuz opened if we want to avoid damage. The president says this is a 3 to 4 week operation. Okay, if that's the case, maybe we'll skate through without lasting damage. But frankly, I think the markets want to see tankers transiting the Straits of Hormuz this week. I'm going to keep my disciplined, diversified portfolio. I'm not panic selling here at all, but I am keenly awaiting news of tankers transiting the Straits.
But it's not just when the Straits open. It's if there's more damage done to the oil production facilities in Saudi Arabia.
All right, let's go through some charts. Let me change this. Check mic. Let me hear. Let me make sure I can hear.
Brian, for much more. I want to bring in our Brian Sullivan. Brian, we're looking at oil move lower. We're also looking at the NASDAQ right now, Brian. Very close to at least flat, possibly turning green. Looking at oil WTI at least, trading about 96.60 a barrel. What's the very latest?
Well, we got some breaking news on CNBC.com, which I think goes exactly to your conversation about the Strait of Hormuz. And if I'm right, this could bring oil down even more. I'd love to get the former oil trader Joe Terranova's view on this. But the Iranian Foreign Ministry is saying, and I'm not sure where they're saying this, it's up on CBC.com right now, that any tanker transiting the Strait of Hormuz, quote, must be very careful. Now, interesting language, because if you read into that, and again, love Joe, the former trader's take on this, if you read that, must be very careful is not we're going to blow you out of the water. It's you cannot pass the Strait of Hormuz. It is not we're going to send missiles your way. must be very careful. To me, and I'd love to hear everybody's view, to me, that feels like, that sounds like a slight de-escalation. You can see the live map there, Strait of Hormuz right at the top of your screen. A lot of ships at anchor on the right, kind of waiting to get in. A lot of ships at anchor on the left, waiting to get out. Nobody's kind of in the middle. But we'll see if those words, must be very careful, make it a little more amenable for some ships. Now, guys, we have had, I want to be clear, this whole, the Strait of Hormuz is closed. I don't like that word. Great job, guys. It's not, nothing's closed. There's no gate on
go
this.
back after
You can
this
make
if
it
this
risky.
holds.
Plenty of Iranian and Chinese flagged or cargoed vessels are getting through
This has
because
gotta
they're
hold,
not going to
though.
blow up.
This has got to hold. And that's when this is why I took my money. I'm not all in on the long just yet. You got to hold. This has got to become a wick here. The longer term time frames are kind of there, but it's trending towards the downside, and it's not looking good, and it's not going to be long before those longer term time frames start to go negative. That's why I took my money as I got paid on the long there. But I think there's enough news and enough of a catalyst here that if you start holding anybody that was short, and I'm talking, look, guys, you got to remember this thing was up at 50, $60. Look at this. So you got people that are short. This could give us a nice, at least a trade to the 50-day moving average, right? And I'm looking near term. Anybody that was short off the bell, right? You have a lot of institutions. It's going to take them a little while to get out of, to be able to get out of this. But the target is, nothing's going to change about the fact that $25 is the target. Okay. You got the 50-day. You have that, again, that major previous highs up here, right? And I think it was for whatever reason, right? You have this high, that high, and then it became support. So keep an eye there. Really, that support it's a range, okay? It's $24 to $25. So understand that. It's a range. It's a dollar range, 24 to 25. I'm going with 25. So this has to hold. Here we go. We need volume. You want to see this thing go right now. And that's going to be hard because it's 12 o'clock. You may not have enough people at their desk. Look, that's a nice tail. That's a nice tail right there. Look at the volume. Look, you see? Look at that. Look at the 1 minute. Look at that. Look how low. Some people are about to get bit. They're going to get sucked into the long. They see it moving. They're like, oh, break and retest. They see it moving. Look at your bottom left. Look at your trade line. It's down here. Look where you are. You're way up here. So more than likely, what time is it? 12:13. Guess what? You got 2 minutes left for that 15-minute candle to close. So what I'm going to look for is the new 15-minute candle to open up and pull itself back into like 22, 21.65. Okay. And just consolidate. And if we are above $22 and above VWAP, then I'm telling you right now, I will look for a long going into the end of the day on HIMS back to these previous highs, pre-market highs. That's my game plan. As long as we're above 22 and we can hold it, I would like to see us try to grind higher. You've had already such a big gap up. That's why it's just consolidating. So QQQ. Here we go. We're at the level we talked about. So a lot of these things are happening at 12, but that's only because I missed the morning trades.
breaking news there, but again, look into it. At the same time, Joe, you made some moves in the oil market. You're buying a Brazilian oil company and a Canadian oil company. Walk us through those moves.
Just being tactical. So year to date, I've been tactical in trying to build positions in the energy market ahead of all of this. One of the trades that I put on, and it's a trade, it's short term in its nature, so it's running Jimmy somewhere around 90 days, and that's the OIH. I've moved out of the OAH. I think I collected somewhere around 18%. I've taken positions utilizing those funds in Canadian natural resources and in Petrobras. The reason being is sourcing comfortably, securely their oil. Seems as though that will be something that's in front of us here in the coming weeks. You're seeing both of these stocks do really well since this unfolded. The OIH, the service names, they seem to be struggling right now. So again, it's tactical more than anything else, and that's what I'm attempting to do with energy.
All right. While we're looking at the energy market, we got to talk about the broader impact. Jim, I want to come over to you. Dr. Ed Yardeni raising his recession odds from 20% up to 35%, due in part to the oil shock. When you're looking at the markets, what do you see the broader impact being after today? We are seeing oil prices ease back a bit, but certainly still elevated.
Well, look, I'm no fan of parsing the words the way Brian was. I'm not calling him out. I think number one, you have to be able to speak Farsi to understand what the language content really means, and you have to be inside the inner circle in Tehran, which none of us are. And where I'm going with this is, again, this just depends on how long this lasts. You're seeing in the market right now rational responses in the form of hyper-discretionary stocks selling off, whether that's travel, leisure, entertainment, those sorts of things. Now, they can snap back very quickly if we in some way declare victory and move on over the course of the next week. But if we get to the end of March and we're still bombing Tehran and we're still talking about whether it's Iranian or Chinese or other countries' tankers that are transiting the Persian Gulf, the effects are going to be a little bit more long-lasting. You're going to see it not just...
I'm sorry, but they're just on repeat, right? We know this. We know all this. Did you guys see something interesting there? So you have these previous highs on AVGO. I may get rid of this trend line that I have up here. I'm going to get rid of it. I feel like I can't see my charts like normal. Okay. So you have previous highs up here. You have a little bit of a level up here at 345. All right, so look at this. Here's a trade idea, right? And when you get these, right, you have to, if you see setups, right, like I see right now, this is the hourly chart, right? You see you have a previous resistance up here, 344.90, 345. Look at your hourly trade line. Look how far you are above it. So we're going to look for a more than likely rejection up here or a pullback, a cool off. Look at the RSI, overbought, okay? ADX trying to go positive. So if we cannot, if it doesn't consolidate on me, oh, and look, the Qs, what did I say? We were looking for that pullback, right off of Friday's lows. We still have the volume. Look at that 5-minute bar, that volume. You cannot ignore that, just so you're aware. Do not ignore this. Look at this. Don't ignore it until, it proves and tells you to ignore it by putting in a higher volume to the buy side, which, would be a squeeze if you got up here. So we're at Friday's close, right? We're at this little area. If you look, right, look at this, okay? Look at anchored VWAP on the 5-minute. It's way the hell down here. So if you start to get the Qs to pull back, we're going to add that on the AVGO, okay? All right, you got a massive level. You have the 50-day. You have the hourly trade line. You're extended, okay? The Qs are extended. RSI is maxed out. So you have all these reasons for AVGO to pull back off of 345 and look for that target of 335. That's about a $10 move. Okay, you got the 50-day moving average here. You got the hourly chart. Look at the volume. The volume is decreasing as you're up there. So all these reasons are to lead us to believe the probability of a pullback, okay? It can also consolidate. Doesn't have to pull back. It could just stay here and just float and let those trade lines and whatever else you have on your chart play catch up for the next move higher. But for right now, I'm going to take it as it is, okay? Look at the MACD now. right? On the 5-minute. Look at the lower MACDs here, okay? They're diverging. The stock is putting in a new high, and your MACD is putting in a lower high. It's not confirming the new highs. You got all these reasons. Add on the Q. So, okay, that's I literally saw all this in just a few seconds, and I didn't say anything to you guys, right? I was like, let me tell them what I see, right? The Qs, anchored VWAP, pulling back right now. The Qs pulling back right now. Like I said, right off of that level. I've said this. 600. We're looking for a pullback to 596. Okay, but I'm going to continue to keep going over charts. All right, I'm going to watch this AVGO real quick, see if we can't. What's oil doing? And yes, I'm just pulled up USO /CL, whatever. So you got a little bit of a consolidation here. You might play a little reversal. We'll see. Reversal back to 120. I'm not too focused on that. Let's go see if we can get something here. All right. I'm still, I would still lean long for like a week to 2 weeks on AVGO. I'm just saying for the next few hours, I would look for a pullback. And I don't think you're going to get the pullback, right? So if now we look at it from the aspect of the charts that do not have pre-market and after hours on it, look at your trade line, right? It's also, 15-minute trade line's right above 340. So, you probably just get a consolidation here. I'm going to move on from this. Let's go look at the Qs, see if we can't get a trade on the Qs here. All right. 596 is our target, guys. Look, where's VWAP catching up to on, it's 596. So 600, we're there. Our target, 596. Look at the bottom left, though. You're not going to get there so easy. So it's probably not a trade. It would be a little bit different if we didn't have that. So it's already been support, right? I know you guys probably can't see it. But looking at it without pre-market and after hours, because you want to see the whole playlist, guys. You guys got to see the lay of the land. Again, I've seen these shorts. I'm like, bro. I mean, some of these kids, like, they think they know what they're doing, but I'm like, it's just funny. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I'll show you a short that I'm talking about. So you got your 15-minute trade line here without pre-market hours, right? So you'll probably just sit here and just, excuse my French, you probably just dick around right here, right? Not really do much. So that was a nice reversal there. That volume is still telling you to watch out. If you're long, you still need to be careful. That's not me saying it. So it's just tough. Just be patient. Sit on the sidelines. We have NVIDIA going.
Addiction. It's a serious one, and it often gets in the way of his normal life. And his addiction is Murcielago's, Lamborghini's flagship V12. It's his absolute favorite car. I also know it's almost impossible to get parts for it. However, I found a company on the border of Poland and Ukraine bold enough to protect the legacy that is Murcielago.
All right, we've traveled a long way to come here, and this is a very special location because they happen to specialize in my absolute favorite car on planet Earth, in the middle of nowhere here in Poland.
It'll open. You gotta wait a second.
Get close. There you go. There we go.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you. My name is Michael. We are at ECPS and we are producing the parts for Murcielago.
That's right. I had an LP car from the factory that was gated. I took it in for service, and the service manager, while test driving it afterwards, totaled it.
I mean, all jokes aside, this sucks.
So now I want to replace that car, and I have a car that I'm looking at, but I want to do a manual conversion on it.
That's not a problem. That's what we do.
Not a problem. 720?
720, also with all 4 carbon parts around it.
The headlight sockets, the front splitter, hood, everything. Yeah, the side blades, all of this stuff in here. Oh, I could use a set of these.
Oh yeah.
They hack these up and they put that kit on it. I need a new one.
Not a problem. We do in 2x2, we do in Pagani styles.
Oh, 4x4 weave?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually perfect because that's what's on my car. That's what Duke Dynamics built my kit out of, the 4x4 like Pagani style weave, the bigger one. 599?
That's the 599, which came to us from Germany. Most of those cars are my family collection cars. My wife's cars, my sister's cars, but this one is a customer's car.
Yeah.
It came to us for GTO conversion.
If you broke above 600, you could start getting squeezy. Watch. Look at the SPY. Or not the SPY, but the Qs. Okay, look at this. Look at the volume that's coming in. All right, I would think here by the end of the day, you take out over 500,000 shares to the buy side to confirm, that this continuation to the upside is really there. And just for right now, I'm being patient.
Nice.
Oh, GTO conversion, great.
And on the back of there, you can see complete kit.
Oh wow.
Oh, hell yeah. The GTO kit's really nice. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a good looking car.
Especially price gap between GTB and GTO.
Oh yeah. That's cool that you made a desk that looks like the SV engine cover on Mercy. Noticed it right away. Very cool. Which way do we go now? This way?
We go this way. F1 edition, Vantage,
yes,
where we built everything out of carbon fiber. V12 rear spoiler.
Did you custom the interior?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because
The seats
those
are sick.
trimmings, 2 layers of Alcantara and laser engraved. And I will show you engine bay because hope it's not there. Because this car been brilliant.
That's really cool.
I love this car. Really, I did like.
It's a good car.
30,000 kilometers with it already.
Holy crap. So you make all the carbon in here?
Yes, exactly. So all the panels, wheel houses, engine bay panels. Similar situation like with this one, inspired by DBS Superleggera on Her Majesty's Secret Service with the veined grille. We made entire veined grille out of forged carbon.
So this is all carbon hood and you just left this exposed?
It's full carbon.
Do you paint the paint here as well?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
One of the very, very many things we do here.
I feel like this is, when we drove around, it's a really big building.
70,000 square feet.
Holy crap. So do you employ the entire town?
No. We have 13,000 people here, but it is small town here. That's for sure.
More Rolls Royces, Dave.
Oh my God. Oh, son of a bitch.
More. There's another one.
Oh, you dirty.
Yeah, we will go that way and walk around.
Sure.
Come back. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, baby. Series 2 with those headlights.
When I was writing to you and I was saying that we have about...
Because we are pen pals, yes.
50 cars customized and maybe 3 are stock, I realized it's not stock because it's the previous model and with a facelift.
Oh, you facelift? Did you make the facelift kit?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
But can't you buy that from Rolls-Royce, like buy the parts?
You can buy from Rolls-Royce, but the parts from Rolls-Royce are not as cheap.
It's cheaper to make it yourself than buy it from Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on with this car?
This car was crashed.
Okay, that makes sense. I can show something on it then?
Yeah.
Okay, go look at the back wheel of that car. Whoever drove it, dudes, you can't find an inch on that wheel that's not curved.
Someone's wife really wrecked this wheel. Dude. But for the Series 2 conversion, it's just headlights and bumper, isn't it?
Actually, the front fenders are also different.
Oh God.
Yes, headlights and the front bumper.
How do you make a headlight?
Carefully.
I will show you.
You make a headlight.
That's the 550. That's my beloved project car.
Yeah, I saw the corner of it.
Yeah, it's been damaged and it's written off actually.
Yeah.
So I bought it for parts.
Good.
Yeah, and then I'm looking for another car to build this one because that one was such an amazing base. It was only 20,000 kilometer car in perfect condition, original manual, everything, but it's been written off. So no good thing about European Union. This kind of straight piping is not a good solution for police and.
Damn, flying spur. Where's the rest of the Bentley?
This car is very special car because it is Las Olas edition, and Bentley made only 4 of them.
Only 4?
Only 4, yeah. And they were in different colors combinations.
That's not a factory interior.
That's the factory interior.
What?
Yeah, only 4.
So super rare.
Yeah, very rare.
And what's all this for? Just spare parts?
Yeah, because like I said, we are selling new and second-hand parts for supercars, but all kinds of supercars like Maserati, Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren, Aston Martin.
Hey Dave, you want to replace the gauge cluster in your Squadra Corsa?
Holy shit.
That's Superleggera one, yeah. Yeah, but here you can show a headlight. Maybe someone will recognize for what car is this.
Oh yeah, hey, David?
Pretty good.
What's crazy is all these parts, they're valuable, but they sit for a long time because you need a buyer for them.
Yeah, this is kind of business which takes years. If you look there, you will spot something. There's the Pagani Zonda Roadster.
Oh, yeah.
The rear, the doors. That's another my dad's project car. That's the engine, actually.
Oh, no, right here?
Yeah.
It's massive.
Zonda V12 engine. That's not something you see every day.
You'll have to check our pockets when we leave.
Yeah.
It's tempting in here.
I have a ceramic brake in my pocket. Dude, this thing's beautiful with the candy.
My baby.
Yes. This one is actually DB9.
DB9.
Yeah.
But we did like a DBS style kit on it?
Exactly. So we made the front hood, fenders, bumper, all the grills, side skirts, side brakes, everything.
That's a DBS.
That's my DB9.
That's a DB9 with the kit on it again?
Yeah, but...
That's deceiving when you put all that stuff on it.
So is this your personal collection or is this a customer car?
This one is a customer car. These are my personal cars. That's my baby. And
you like James Bond movies, don't you?
Astons is type of the car when someone sees you when you're passing on the road and they say, it's nice car. But when you drive Ferrari, Lamborghini...
They don't like that.
Such a snobby
I don't know how it is, we enjoy those cars and enjoy the life.
Life's short, man.
Exactly.
Don't worry what other people think about what you drive. This is the exact same spec that a retired NHL player in Victoria was driving. Grigio Silverstone.
Yep.
With the red interior, Spider. I took my daughters to a drive-in to get ice cream, and he pulled up with his son in this exact car, and I was just obsessed with these cars back then.
Yeah.
And this is before I could ever afford a car like this. Still to this day, F430s are such beautiful cars.
In my opinion, this was the golden era of the automotive. Reliable cars and made by engineers, not accountants.
Yeah, I personally like a coupe, but even the soft top's cool. When the top's down,
with the
leather tailored roll bars, it's a beautiful car.
Very heavily driven, it's 200,000 miles.
What?
He daily drives this car, nearly
200,000.
Yeah, but he's servicing, taking care about this car, and really didn't have any bigger issues in this car.
I know someone had issues. The guy knows Rolls Royce.
This car looks like it was rolled.
This car is going for parts, same as the other two. So that's the Phantom 8th edition, another drop head, but the first generation. When I was talking about parts, the half of this unit is full of parts for any kinds of exotics.
Old Ferrari seats, you got a Gallardo seat.
That's all from Dubai.
Yes, all the stock from Dubai. Here's another DB9 with carbon interior, and I also wanted to make this car a little more fresh. So we designed this kind of seat stitching pattern. Actually, the seats are taken out in this car.
Jason, you dirty dog. Jason's here.
Jason, what the hell? Go back to work.
A lot of car for the money, like great value. V8 manual Vantage.
So I literally said that I'm gonna go in my mind. I said I'm gonna be buying SNDK on this pullback here, pre-market this morning, and was like going to tell the stream, hey, I'm already in SNDK from pre-market hours this morning, and I got a phone call. And it really just threw my morning off as I was trying to do stuff, because I forgot I was trying to buy SNDK on this pullback, man. This was a beautiful setup. And again, I told you guys when I first started the stream that I think this thing's going to 750 to 1200. I do. With the type of growth that this thing is reported last time, there should be no issue I think it's trading at like 10 times earnings. People say stocks are expensive, but I don't think so. They're bringing in 8 to 10 billion, and I think their market cap's like 71, 72. Like, that's not bad, right? Especially you're paying 10 times for a stock that is growing at 100 to 1,000% in different, different areas of its business. So the P and PE has changed, right? So look at this. You're talking $1.22. They last reported $6.20. Right? $6.02. Or 20. I don't know what it is. I would imagine 2 cents. So $6.02 EPS. $6 a share. Look at this. Previously, negative 3 cents. 30 cents, 29 cents, okay? $1.22, $6.02. Like, they're growing at a crazy clip. So I've been watching this slow downside move, and you finally got that test pre-market of the 50-day and this prior weekly high here. I had this, I didn't just put that level there, but I've been waiting for this pullback into that zone, and we got it pre-market, and I got a damn phone call. It really fudged me up, man. I wanted this. It kind of fucking pisses me off. I mean, look at this, man. 10 shares of this, and your day is done. I want to buy it because I think I want to hold this thing for at least another 3 to 6 months, because I think the next quarter, I think nothing changes, and I think the stock gets to, I still think this is a $1,000 to $1,100 stock. I don't know, maybe year end, maybe maybe it gets there by the summertime if things change. I don't know, but I think it gets there. I do. That's just my opinion.
You can buy these cars for like $30,000.
Easily. That's my daily for my daily.
I like this. Is this an Arnage?
Yeah, Arnage. 2008.
Doesn't it have like a mineral oil suspension or something weird? Like some weird suspension?
Yes, and I have a problem with it.
They all have problems.
To repair that.
Gorgeous. Oh, back to the Rolls Royce. I like how you have them all sectioned off together. That blue's really sexy.
So here we have another unit of parts. There are all kinds of parts for Maserati 3200, 4200.
Well, let's hope you never have to move.
That one is also very special because that's Daimler Super V8. They made only 800 pieces of them in the world, so pretty unique. Some ceramics brakes.
Some real life. Do you need for a Murcielago you don't need? I got you.
Hey, do you guys have ceramic brakes for the Murcielago?
For Murcielago, no. So difficult to get and extremely expensive. Full racks of molds for all kinds of McLarens. So here we have MP4, 650, 600 LT, 540, 570, 720, apart from 765. We started working with carbon fibers since 2008. Since that time, we have around 4,000 molds in stock.
Wow.
For supercars.
I recognize that from Gallardo.
Yeah.
That's the Super Trofeo rear diffuser.
Yeah, Super Trofeo Evo 2, under tries, side skirts, molds for Super Trofeo. Then we have molds for Rolls Royces, 812, 488, Pista, all Maserati Gran Turismo stuff. So yeah, quite a lot.
I bet that's from a Flying Spur.
This is the warehouse of the used parts.
Shit, I've been talking the whole time with my mic off. I gotta start over. I'll probably get out of here, guys. If I post anything, if I get into any positions, just check Twitter at Ivy League Trades. All right. I want to say I appreciate you guys being here. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I want to leave you guys with a few things. Okay, semis are doing really well right now. Okay, but keep an eye on. Okay, keep an eye on the S&Ps and the Qs, because I think you got two different stories being told here. Not that we can't continue to move higher, but just watch for pullbacks. Okay, just watch for pullbacks. If you don't get it, you don't get it. If it continues to climb, let it go. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do. I don't want to tell you what to do. I just want you to be mindful as to what it is you're doing, and or if you're not seeing something. Again, I would not be surprised. I'm not saying that it's going to, but it's either we're going to continue to keep squeezing like we are on the Qs here, okay, or we're going to go revisit and have a pullback into like 596, or we're not. Okay, I just think there's a few things on here that's telling us we could. Like that's still an option, right? That's still an option here. You bounce into these previous lows here. All right there. So I'm watching Friday's hold and Thursday's low. All right, that's the area I'm watching.
And more from UK Chancellor Reeves is exploring further action on heating oil.
You still did not test the 200-day moving average during the day. You have the 20-day moving average up there at 606. We are 0.2 in the green. This could be a monster day. Like if you were to close a percent, let's see if you got a percent to go green. Like congratulations if you bought the long early this morning on this gap up, because I mean you're talking about from being down over a percent, right? Look at this move. You have had a positive 2% move. You've had a really nice move here. You're almost at 2%. If you get to the 20-day, you're pushing 2.7, 2.6. So congratulations. But I again, I'm just chilling, relaxing. Not real. I'm not chilling and relaxing, but I have hymns. I keep my eye out on hymns. I took a small trade on that. We took a trade on it earlier. I just did not. I was a little slow on the first entry that paid really nicely. So I'm going to continue to watch it. Okay. I'm going to continue to watch it. You guys know my targets. Okay. Buys anywhere down around 21.
Update for Airbus reports February aircraft deliveries 35. That's up from 19 in the prior month. Gross orders, however, down to 28 versus the prior 49.
SNDK. I wanted, again, I was going to say, wanted to buy this so bad pre-market, but then I got a phone call. This pullback, I was trying to buy this pullback here, and I got a phone call. I was setting up the stream and everything, but guys, take care. I appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like button. I'll see you guys.
Update from US President Trump on Truth Social says many important meetings and phone calls taking place today whilst I am at the Trump National Door in Miami. Says he will be going to Speaker Mike Johnson's fundraising event at 4 p.m. and then prior to leaving for DC, will hold a news conference from the Doral Ballroom at approximately 5:30 p.m. So that's Trump to speak twice today,
so
4 p.m.
Have a meeting.
And then later on at roughly 5:30 p.m.
We were looking at this earlier. There was supposed to be no briefings at all today, but apparently he's going to hold one later on this afternoon at the Grand Ball. Sounds nice. It's a different life. With that type of money, it's a different life. So look, it says here, guys, it's reported that the U.S. reportedly believes a joint release of 300 to 400 million barrels of oil is appropriate, according to CNBC. G7 energy ministers to meet on Tuesday, which they're meeting tomorrow. We knew this, on oil reserves. And again, I think what you're seeing here, okay, is that they don't need to yet. I think that's why they're not in a hurry, right? I think the reserves are like, I think that they don't think that they have to do it yet. I think that they have enough. They're going to do what they can to help the prices, and the way I'm perceiving it, because if they thought something bad was happening, or like they weren't going to be able to get oil for a while, or there was not going to be this like you know, this amount being made behind them to, you know, that is not going to get pushed forward, they would be acting with a sense of urgency right now, and they're not, guys. They're not acting with a sense of urgency. So there's plenty to go around. Relax, all right? And I thought about this yesterday when everybody's on Twitter just running around with their heads cut off. Just oil this, oil that. I'm like, I literally almost made a tweet saying, you know what this means, right? I think that's the top. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day. Be productive. Hit the like button. If you need help, I hope you guys learned something. Join us again tomorrow morning, guys. I'll try to be on at like 7 o'clock at least. You know, I'll try to be on early. That way, we're getting a game plan going nice and early, and have enough time to run through all of the news catalysts that we may or may not have tomorrow. All right, but for right now, everything is the same. Just watch oil, see what they say, watch headlines, you know, and pray for your troops, your first responders. Say thank you and all that good stuff. Guys, have a great rest of your day. I will see y'all on the next one. I don't know what buttons they are that I used for. Oh shit! I can't remember my hotkeys. Let's go look. Let me go look real quick. Docs, scene collection, docs, file, edit, settings, stream, audio, video, hotkeys. Okay, so stream ending. Shift X. How do we switch? We go to Shift 2. Switch scene. Shift 2. Shift 2. I love you guys. See y'all tomorrow. Peace. Thank you. Like button. I hope you learned something. I hope you make some money. If you haven't, just be patient. Just be patient. We got a long week here. Go over your charts. I'm going to be doing that. You know, I'm going to do some other stuff. Just be prepared and be ready. See you guys. Why is it not switching? Shift 2. Shift 2. What the hell is going on here? Do I have to physically do it now? Shift 1, switch to scene. Okay, no, we're on Shift 2. Shift 5. That's what. Why does it go to switch 5? All right, I'll see you guys.